All right, guys, welcome back. This is the post-game spread. I'm your host, as always, Blake Helm, and I just got done with about a 2.5 hour tidal wave ride with Jonathan Hogart, the Murray State sensation, the guy that refused to stop hitting dingers. I gave him the nickname the Murray Masher. I don't know if it works or will stick, but I thought it was awesome. This was so special. I had to get him on. I have to get on a handful of these Murray State guys to hear what was going on with them, what was in their heads, what was in their hearts during this historic run. You know, Murray State getting all the way to the College World Series. This is my alma mater. I could have never imagined, I was there 15, 17 years ago. I could have never imagined this program getting to where it is today. And it is such a testament to Coach Dan Skirka, to all these studs that he has brought in, to this culture that he has created there. I am so proud of these boys. I am so proud to have been a Murray State racer, to been a part of that program, to have that jersey on my back at one point. This guy was incredible. We went through his whole career up to now, up to what you guys had been seeing on TV, the home runs. It was so incredible hearing about where he's been, what he's learned about himself through baseball, how he ended up there, his kind of improbable story from JUCO to Louisiana Tech, where he got hurt, it wasn't working out, was almost ready to walk away from the game of baseball. And here he is 2 years later, putting Murray State on his back and taking them to the College World Series. And that's no disrespect to everyone else on that roster that were absolute studs and did it and were a part. I'm just saying this guy did some big things at Murray State this year, led the nation in leadoff home runs with 8, and that is not a mistake that I'm saying. 8 leadoff home runs to start a game. So cool. And we got to talk about all things Murray that are unique. Obviously, I know a lot about all these things, although I was there a while ago, so it was fun for me to hear how Murray's changed, how it's the same, what these guys were feeling going through all these things, beating the Dukes and the Ole Misses and getting to the College World Series and doing press conferences. I mean, can you imagine starting the year at Murray State University and ending it at a press conference at the College World Series in Omaha? I still can't really believe it. The whole thing makes me emotional. It's just beautiful. His story is beautiful. I can't wait to see this guy playing for money. He's going to get drafted here soon. We're going to have a bunch of these guys on because I think it's really important to hear how special this moment was and how they saw it. So with no further ado, you guys are going to love this. This is going to be the Jonathan Hogart story. But before we get into it, I want to say thank you to some of my sponsors. This is going to be, although I am financially supported mainly locally in Springfield, Illinois, I have a couple national sponsors too. So let me run through my sponsors here because I could not do this without them. So thank you to Clean Fuego. Thank you to Timber Bat Company. Locally, the Crafted Stag, Bank of Springfield, Sheehan and Sheehan Lawyers, Body Symmetry, Milner Dentistry, Sitco Chiropractic, Glisten Heating and Air, the Eric Easley Real Estate Team, The Office Sports Bar and Grill, Hammers Radon Mitigation, BSN Sports, The Hitting Center, Cardinal Cleaning, GT Performance Consulting, Grab a Java, the Kaiser family, and last but not least, Nate Guernsey, the realtor here in town. Anyway, guys, I hope you're going to enjoy this. This was the post-game spread, the Jonathan Hogart story. Here we go. All right, guys. Welcome back to the post-game spread. I'm going to be your host, as always, Blake Helm. We're going to have some new listeners on this. So sitting across from me here is John Hogart, the Murray State slugging sensation here. I know we're going to have a new audience, so let me give you a little bit of an idea of kind of what this podcast is. Essentially, our whole motto is a journey worth remembering, right? And we go back and we talk about a baseball player's career and kind of what they have been through along the way and like what they learned about themselves, about life, these experiences. I had a wild ride through baseball myself, played at Murray State. As you can see, there's all this Murray State stuff here behind me. I had 5 surgeries in college, couldn't stay on the field, ended up walking away from the game, went into the military through some circumstances, ended up, feeling like I had unfinished business. And then that started with, decided that I was going to play pro ball. And that went from like batting practice to a men's league to U.S. military team to a reality show with Cal Ripken to indie ball, and it was just incredible. And I learned so much about myself and life that a buddy had me on his podcast, and I got to tell my story, and I thought it was so therapeutic and cathartic and awesome that I wanted to help others do it. So about 2 years ago, we got rolling, and I've built kind of from my baseball circle, and it's starting to branch out, and now we've got this incredible moment in time now where something truly deep, and passionate in my heart, Murray State baseball, and you know, the College World Series. So you guys are national news right now, which is crazy. I would have never thought, 17 years ago when I was at Murray State, I graduated in '08. I would have never thought that this would be happening. It still seems surreal to me. I can't imagine what it feels like to you, man. So before we get rolling here, I got a few more things I got to go to here. This is going to be so incredible. We are locally sponsored by many, but we've got a few national sponsors. So let me rip out those first. So we are sponsored by Clean Fuego. I absolutely love these guys. Great for spin rate, improving training tools designed to help players and coaches improve spin efficiency, grip, overall throwing mechanics, built for athletes of all levels. Head on over to cleanfuego.com. And then we just partnered with Timber Bat Company, which is awesome. I've been wanting to get with the bat company, but this is one of the best hitting coaches in the game, Mitch Piatnik. They have heavy wood bat trainers. He's a former Reds minor leaguer. They've got youth bats, but what they really have that I like are flat bats, which I think is an awesome training tool for bat path. It instantly gives you feedback on if you're too steep, if you're coming up at the ball, if you're coming flush, it's going to show you. So head on over to timberbatco.com. We really appreciate you guys. Okay, here we go. This is going to be my attempt at your nickname here. All right, stay with me. As you can see behind me, there's a Mickey Mantle poster. I'm a huge Mickey Mantle fan. Mickey Mantle's nickname, one of them was the Commerce Comet. Commerce Comet. Mike Trout's nickname was the Millville Meteor. Are you ready for your nickname that I came up with?
Let's hear
The
it.
Murray Masher. You're going to be the Murray
Love it.
Masher. Has anyone said that to you yet?
No, first ever.
All right, Murray Masher. We got that one going here. So if that works, it works. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But this guy sitting across from me here, the Murray State, sensation, leadoff hitter, center fielder. This guy captivated the whole baseball world recently with Murray State's historic run through the College World Series. Let's go through some of his accolades. Out of Madisonville, Kentucky, Madisonville North Hopkins High School, where he was Region 2 Player of the Year. Then you went on to Wabash Valley College, where your stats were ridiculous, dude. Wow, those are video game. I mean, well above 400 both years, almost 500 your second year, double digit dings, two-time second team All-American, freshman of the year. Then you moved on to Louisiana Tech, and I don't have a lot of information on this. Besides, they played some clips about you were hurt, didn't play a lot, and went into the portal and almost thought you were done with baseball. So I cannot wait to hear about that, dude. And then before moving on into the portal, go to Murray State, a really strong junior year. 304 average, 14 dings, and then going on to tie the all-time single-season home run record at Murray State by my former teammate and close buddy and former guest, Wes Cunningham. Listen to that one. First team MVC, all defensive team, leading the nation in leadoff home runs with 8. Then you guys just wrapped up this historical run. And before we get into the depth about the racer season and all things College World Series, sticking to the theme, we're going to go through his baseball journey and see what all steps you've taken, to get where you're at today. These moments that we just saw on TV. So I usually say how we know each other because a lot of my guests I have some sort of a relationship with, but we don't. I
Hmm.
reached out to you about a week or so ago, and I've reached out to a handful of you guys, and you guys have all been interested in doing it. So we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this. Hear what you guys thoughts, how this felt to you. I couldn't imagine. So, and what I found from doing this podcast is, if you're a baseball dude, if you've lived it, everyone speaks the same language. So even though I'm, a 40-year-old dude, and you're in your young 20s, I found that baseball is that common language. And once we start rolling, it's all good, man. So that's kind of my part of my intro here. Uh, John, my man, how are you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. I am so excited to sit here with you, man. Have you come down from this cloud yet, or how are you feeling?
It's still surreal. Yeah. Obviously going to Omaha is something you dream of as a kid. So I don't know if that I guess quote unquote high will never will never leave, truthfully, because I still can't believe I was actually there playing as a player.
Unreal. And we're gonna get into all of it. And so I've got a so I have a group message with all my former breads. We were used to be the breads. Obviously, you guys know
Hmm.
that. Now they're the racers. They changed names at some point. But one question that everyone said I had to ask you is, so you know this, obviously, Murray State has been known as a basketball school for as long as you can remember, right? They crack the top 25 every once in a while. Sometimes they go to the tournament. Ja Morant, right? So bed for basketball. After this trip to the College World Series, is Murray State now a baseball school?
Um, I think the conversation can start being had, but I don't. It's hard. I don't know. Hard to say that we'd be a full-on baseball school because basketball is just like it's like a Kentucky thing. Like being from Kentucky, like college hoops is like what we breathe in Kentucky. So
For
it'd
sure.
be hard to go on a limb and say that we'd be a full-out baseball school, but I would definitely think that would be a part of the conversation. And you cannot overlook Murray State baseball anymore.
You absolutely can't. And let me tell you my own funny story. And it kind of speaks to my own insecurities and whatnot. But for the longest time when I've gotten into baseball conversations with people, and I haven't done it for a long time, but they'd say, where'd you play college baseball? And I would say Murray State University, and they would get this kind of quizzical look on their face, like, I don't know who that is. And I would say it's a small Division I school. Like I felt like I had to say that. I didn't want them to think it was like a D3 or an NAIA, but after what you guys just did, I don't think I'm going to ever have to do that again. Not that I did anymore, but you guys put Murray State on the map, man. All of us are so grateful for what you guys did, this magical run. I still can't believe it, man. I mean, a ton of us went to Omaha, and it was one of the most. I mean, obviously you played in it, but it was so magical for us to be, wearing our Murray State gear and showing up and seeing all those Kentucky people, man. It was just so beautiful, and I cannot wait to get into it with you here, man. So if you're ready to rock, you ready for some questions, my man?
Let's do it. Fire away.
Awesome, dude. I really appreciate this. Let's start with what are some of your earliest memories of baseball? What kind of stands out?
Man, earliest I remember is going out in the backyard with my dad. We'd go out there, we'd throw the ball around. He'd hit me grounders, hit me fly balls, and then he'd get these like little rubber balls. They had circles in them, and he'd just go out there and throw it to me constantly. And I'm like 5 or 6 at this point, and I'm just hitting left and right constantly, nonstop, day after day. And that's probably my first fullest memory of it. And then obviously playing t-ball and stuff with him as my
Yeah,
coach, and then my parents and grandparents in the stands.
love that. Your both your parents had some really cool little interviews, during the World Series, talking about how all of your community was behind you, and there was, drinks being named after you, and your dad talked about, when you were little, like you couldn't miss, like you did not miss when the ball was hit to you, and there was some metric in like little league or something like that where you never even fouled a ball off or something like that. Never missed. Can you speak to that at all? Is that a true kind of story, or is that
um,
dad just being excited?
it could be. So the year he's talking about, as I went straight from 8U to 10U, so I skipped like the introduction league of like live arm, and I went straight into this team that him and another guy coached, named Pal Lawrence, and he's a big stat guy, really smart guy, big stat rat. And he told my dad that after the year was done that I did not swing and miss at a pitch all year, which I fouled some off, of course, but I never swung and missed all year. So I thought that was pretty cool. I never did that.
Oh man. So I mean, what is it? I mean, what can you speak to the kind of support that you were getting from your community? People reaching out and like that's pretty
Oh
cool,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, so I think after Duke, after that game, I had over 100 texts,
Yeah.
social media through the roof of people that I haven't talked to in a long time reaching out to me through social media and stuff. So
Yeah.
it was unbelievable. Now being home, I think just about every meal I've went to out to eat, I haven't had to, I've had the opportunity to meet some people I haven't met before and saying that they followed us, take pictures with some kids,
Yeah.
this, that, and the other. So it's been truly awesome and a blessing for sure.
Let me ask you this. And this is kind of off the cuff. Could you, at the start of this year, let's just say August is the start of your season, essentially. Could you have ever imagined if someone says, "Hey, you guys are going to make a run to the College World Series this year"? What would you have said?
I'd be like, all right, let's do it. But also, it's kind of hard to fathom because just like where we come from, it's not much, but we make do with what we have. So
Yeah.
obviously, our goal was to win conference, and I thought we had a legit shot at that. And then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we won conference. Now let's go win a regional. I thought we had a legit shot at that. We did that. Then I was like, all right, let's go beat Duke now. Had a legit shot at that and did that. So it was really cool seeing it all unfold. But from the get go, with how bad our fall was, I don't think anyone would have believed you.
Really, you guys had a rough fall. Like you guys didn't look very good as a team.
We got curb stomped by WKU in a fall game.
Really?
We It was rough, booting the ball around like crazy. We didn't hit nearly as good as we could. It was just a rough. I mean, obviously we had so many new guys too, so a lot of the molding into the team, molding into each other took
Sure.
place, and once it did, it showed.
Love that. And before I hit record, I was joking around with him a little bit, but my man is still rocking the stash that you guys saw on TV. It looks terrific. You got a little mully going too? Is that what we got?
Yeah.
Oh man, this got great lettuce here. You said your girlfriend's not into the stash.
No, she doesn't care for it at all, but it works, so might as well keep it going.
Did you rock it the whole season, or was it just like an end of the year thing?
No, just mess around at the end of the year, it was like
Yeah.
whatever. And then so we kept winning, so like, well, can't shave it now. Me and
And
my
you kept hitting
roommate,
bombs. You can't shave it when you're hitting bombs,
yeah,
right?
yeah, me and my
Man,
roommate on the road, he was growing one too a little bit, so we were just messing around, like, let's see how far this goes.
who was your roommate on the road?
Mercer.
Oh man, he's coming on too. I cannot wait to hear his story. I mean, you three at those press conferences, man, had me tearing up, man. That was just you guys have some incredible stories. I can't wait to get into all this with you, man. So you've obviously hit a million dings in your life now. Do you remember your first home run?
Yes, I remember it a little too much. So I was in pitching machine ball. I've never hit a homer till this point. I'm like, I was telling myself like, don't hit a homer, don't hit a homer. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, I hit a homer. I was like, so I thought from there on out, every time I told myself not to hit a homer, I'd hit one.
Really?
I'm like 7 years old this time. It was some weird little kid thing I did. I don't know why I was telling myself not to. But I guess I was telling myself just like be easier and relax. I don't know, just
Is
kind of
that
out of
still
nowhere.
something that you kind of subscribe to? That philosophy?
I like to be easy and relax. I don't try to hit homers, but I just we had a joke on the team. It's like Jose Ramirez did this thing is talking about like, getting his home run pitch, and so we're Dusty and a couple other guys were joking around like they haven't got theirs all year, but it's a true thing. Like you can't try to hit homers; they're thrown.
Well said. Um, I'd love to hear, when do you feel like baseball grabbed you? When were you like, man, I love this. I want to keep pursuing this. Do you have memories of that?
Yeah, so I've played baseball as long as I can remember, but when I really fell in love with it was about 12 years old, and that's when I started trying to do travel ball on more of a national stage, I guess you could say.
Right.
Um, so from there on out, I saw like the competitive aspect of it to the fullest. It's also the top guys in the country. Same team. I was on the same team as Blaze Jordan at the time, so
Oh, really?
yeah, it was
Okay.
pretty cool. He's a great guy, great family. So
Yeah.
being around them was awesome. And just seeing that national exposure, the national competitiveness, it really drove. It's really put a fire in me to want to be better every day.
I love that. And that was, if I'm correct, that was the guy that was sitting like 500-foot jacks at like 14, wasn't he? Like he was all
He,
over YouTube and Instagram and right?
yeah, yeah. So at 12, he hit a ball like 400 feet, and then the next year he hit a ball 500 feet.
What did that look like as a 12, 13-year-old? Just ridiculous.
So that year that we were on the team together, I think he hit 36 bombs, and probably over half of them disappeared.
Now, were you hitting bombs at this time too, or did you grow into that later?
I hit a bunch that year, but then after 12U, I didn't hit many at all. Like I only hit
Really?
four my junior year of high school.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, we'll get into that. I'd love to hear a lot of guys that I've had on, athletic genes are in their family. Dad played pro ball, grandpa, uncle, all these guys, Division One. Is there anything like that running through your family? You got some genes?
Both my parents played ball growing up. Different sports: basketball, softball, baseball. Dad played collegiate ball at a school that doesn't have a baseball program anymore. So he played 2 years there, then called it quits after that. But other than that, I don't know of anyone else in my family that has done much with sports.
Really?
Hmm.
Interesting. You just must be the chosen one, my friend.
Well, I have a little brother running around too, so he's a stud as well.
And you mentioned earlier today that you went to his showcase. Is he a senior or junior?
Yeah,
Or how old is he?
rising junior.
AJ, is that it? Did I see that right?
Yep. Hmm.
Shout out to AJ, man. We'll be looking for you, man. Is he pretty good? Got some
He's a
talent?
stud. Yeah, he's a stud. He's a big dude. A lot of potential.
Really? Has he committed anywhere, or is he just still looking around?
Hmm. He's
Yeah,
still looking. They can't talk to him now anymore till like I think August or September this year. There's a new rule
gotcha,
about
gotcha.
that, so it's weird.
Well, I mean, imagine after these last couple of years, you can tell me, but pro attention, scouts coming around. Yes, can you speak
Yeah,
to that?
get a little noisy, I guess. Just Of course, playing professional baseball is the goal and the dream,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're getting a little bit. I'm talking to a couple of clubs and hearing a little bit, so it's been pretty good.
Any kind of projections or anything like that?
Not yet. I think we'll start figuring that out more later in the week and into the next week as well.
Okay. I mean, is that something that's been on your radar since you were little? Like, I want to play pro baseball, or has it just kind of progressed to that as things have gotten more serious?
No, it's been on my radar ever since I can remember. Like
Really?
you dress up for a career day at school, I was the baseball player every time.
Yeah.
Never failed. Like you have everyone else doing firefighters and stuff, but no, I'm walking there in my little cleats, my little rec ball shirt on, and backwards hat, ready to play ball.
That dude, that reminds me. So I was recently retired from firefighting medically, but I rocked the Murray batting logo. Coach Skirka sent me this years ago to rock on my firefighter helmet. So I've been rocking those racers for a long time, and a bunch of guys from my era have the dunker tattoo, the old school Murray State. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, sick. A bunch of
Don't
us guys have this. So love that. I deeply love Murray State. Let me hear about this. This is always fun for me to ask about. Um, a lot of times, a lot of father-son relationships in baseball are formed from you guys, batting practice, chasing this dream, going to practices, all this investment, time, energy, equipment, all these things. Can you speak at all to the relationship between you and your dad and how baseball and how that was kind of formed?
holy cow, yeah. I mean, the relationship between us through baseball has been monumental. I mean,
Yeah,
he's my hitting coach, he's my father, he's my BP thrower, he's everything.
yeah,
So like, I mean, our relationship through ball is huge, and it's undescribable. I mean, from the hours, the amount of the countless hours he has thrown to me, the
yeah,
pitches he's thrown to me. I mean, the sacrifices, the hours he's driven, the money he's
yeah.
spent. Like, it's taken it's been beautiful for sure.
I love to hear that. It's something that I have two young kids now, and my daughter is just starting to get into t-ball and whatnot, and I'm getting an appreciation for just how much sacrifice and time my dad poured into me in baseball. In my dream, I had the same dream to play professionally from a very young age, and it was just always supported by him and my mother too. But it was my dad that was throwing the BP, and we're getting into arguments and batting practice and little button heads and fun stuff like that. But I will always treasure that we bonded, that we, over baseball. And it sounds like you guys had a similar kind of beautiful thing,
Oh, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, like you said, the arguments from me being a
right?
stubborn teenager to now I want to hear his opinion on everything now. Like I'm always looking for like, I may be kind of bad, but I love his approval. Like knowing that he's proud of me, knowing that he's like
Yeah.
knowing that he just like loved how I played that day. It means the world to me. So I mean, just it goes a long way.
I, I deeply get that, man. Shout out to Jody. Jody's the dad
Yes. Mhm.
and Leanne's mama.
Yep.
Shout out to you guys. I love their their interviews on there. I thought that was so beautiful. What great Kentucky accents that they have as well, my man. Um, when did travel ball start to you? And are there any special coaches or experiences through travel ball that you feel like are worth talking about? Kind of core experiences or anything like that?
um, I played at a young age, but I kind of bounced around a little bit. Started playing like 7 or so. Played for some local teams around here. Shout out to the Bulls. I played for them for a while. Those coaches were awesome. And then kind of moved on into a little bit more of a national stage into the Doolin's Dodgers. That's when I started. That's when I met Blaze Jordan.
Oh
Played with a
yeah.
bunch of buddies. When I met with those guys, a bunch of buddies from there. Still talk to a bunch of them too. And then just kind of throughout my career, kind of bounced around just a little bit more than I probably would have liked, but it's just what we had to do financially and look at this like location wise, find better fits for that as well. Because obviously the younger brother coming up too.
And from what I think I know, that the Doolin Dodgers are a storied traveling team program that, I mean, they've cranked out so many pros. I remember guys, back from my era playing for Doolin's and that being a very big deal. Is that accurate, you think, from what I think I know?
I haven't kept up with them much as lately, but yeah. So from the team I was on, I think about half of them have been drafted or signed, and everyone except like one or two went to play Division 1 ball at least.
Yep.
Every one
Did
of
you,
them has
you
played collegiate baseball at some point though.
it sounds like a pretty serious program, my man. I would love to hear about your high school experience. Who was your coach? Some successes, anything stand out? Any,
Yeah.
you know,
So yeah, I played. I started varsity as an eighth grader. I was our catcher,
oh, cool.
and and so our coach's name was Scott Marks. He actually went to Omaha, so it was pretty cool to see him again. But yeah, I caught and all throughout high school, caught every game almost, and played for Massville North Hopkins High School. Pretty small town. We were solid. We were solid, and always competitive. And yeah, just got Region Two Player of the Year my junior year. Did have a senior year because of COVID. But yeah, I mean, it was always a good time playing with those guys. A lot of them were my best friends growing up. So, a small town, you get really close to all these guys.
So were you interesting? So COVID was your senior year, and that really threw a monkey wrench in a lot of guys' plans on what they thought they were going to do. Were you getting looks from colleges before that, or how did that kind of transpire?
I committed, I think I committed to Wabash right before COVID really hit everything. I committed
Okay.
that fall, and then
Okay.
I signed, and so it didn't really throw a crazy wrench into it. It just made it a lot harder to step on the field as a freshman on campus because of obviously the portal, guys leaving and stuff. So it made playing as a freshman a lot harder.
Now, I read somewhere that was there any contact with Coach Skirka or Murray State before you went? Like did he offer you a walk on or something like that, or can you talk
hmm
about that?
Yeah, so out of high school, he offered me a walk-on spot because he said he didn't have any money left in the class when he got the job, and
Yeah.
I liked him. I loved everything about it. It's just financially we couldn't do it because, like I said, my brother and stuff again. So I had to think that far ahead because I knew he'd be in the travel ball circuit soon and this, that, and the other. So that was a big reason. That was a big part of why I went to junior college as well financially.
What were your first impressions of Coach Skirka? Obviously, this is a very special, magical guy. He's created this incredible culture down there. What were your first impressions of him? Let's go with that.
I loved. I know this isn't like really a part of like an impression, but I loved how young he was and how fiery he was.
Yeah.
Um, it meant a lot because just like the way he carried himself was just with confidence, with like a type of swag that you couldn't really find. It
Uh-huh.
wasn't arrogant, but it was just confident and just his persona. He's just a good, just an all around good person, and you can feel that from like one of the first few conversations you ever had with him.
Yeah. No, did you come on a visit to
I
campus?
did. Yeah, I went. I had to go on a visit, and I loved everything about it. I liked the small town feel of it. Coming from a
Me too.
small town, it's just the only downfall was the financial side. That was the only downfall.
Hmm. Okay. Were there any other schools that you talked to at a high school or considered?
Um, kind of, not really. A couple called, but nothing really called back. It was a pretty dry recruiting process until Wabash called, and then I went on a visit there again, small area, super small, even smaller than Murray, and they gave me an offer that could help that wasn't too tough on my family
Mhm.
financially. So they had a really good track record as well. So that's why I went with that route.
Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and move on there to Wabash Valley College, where I mean you were freshman of the year. Like I said, these video game stats well over 400, almost 500. Your sophomore year, double digit dings. I'd love to hear about your time there. What stands out? Core memories. What was loud? Are there any important things that happened to you? I'd love to hear it.
Absolutely. So yeah, everything about that place was important to me. It shaped me into the man I am today.
Mhm.
Um, Coach Rob Fournier was nothing short of amazing. We butted heads a little bit, but I mean it was great in the long run. I needed it. I was a knucklehead as a kid, so
Me too.
everything about the place is just it's gritty. It's super gritty. Um, Long days, long hours with with the boys. I mean, you know how it is, but at junior college level,
Yeah.
yeah, it's brutal. So looking back, it's one of the biggest blessings I've ever done. Um,
Mhm.
I got so much more mentally tough, physically tougher, and it was very monumental in my career for sure.
How did you grow as a player there?
Oh man, I had to fight through so much adversity. As soon as I got on campus, I sprained my ankle almost like a month or two away, like right into it. So I missed all the fall games and stuff. That was tough because I mean, obviously not having a senior year, I was
Yeah.
still a little rusty coming onto campus, and then I'm battling against former PG All Americans, and then I got SEC bounce backs, Sun Belt bounce backs, ACC bounce backs. This
Right.
you name it, they were there, and it's in a gauntlet. It was so loaded to try to find a way into the lineup. So missing the majority of the fall due to a sprained ankle was very unfortunate, but in the long run, it taught me a lot about perseverance and just getting through it.
Now, were you a center fielder at this point? You talked about being a catcher at one point earlier. When did you make the switch, or what position were you playing at this point?
I was fighting for a corner outfield spot. Our center fielder was he's a stud. He's still with the Mariners organization. Curtis Washington Jr. Still reach out to him pretty frequently ish about. I'll try to get some advice from him every so often, and I'll see how he's doing too, because I respect the heck out of the guy. He was a transfer from Arkansas, so there. I mean, the dude had the spot locked down. He was lights out defensively, and he hit 400, I think, as well.
So obviously cracked that lineup. You found your way in it and absolutely swung the hell out of it. Can you talk about, does anything stand out from either year that you feel like you've left out or is important?
The leadership from the freshman year squad was huge. Shortstop,
Yours
catcher,
or the freshman?
my freshman year.
Okay.
The leadership my freshman year from some of the guys was monumental. Shortstop Xavier Pinales, catcher Johnny. I would go hit with those guys upstairs in our little cages, and just like the confidence that they would feed into me because they saw some ability in me was huge for me as well. Because I was down on myself through the injury and overthinking. I go from you go from being a big fish in a small pond
Yeah.
to a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
So it was really tough mentally on that side, but they helped get me through it a lot. And then just the confidence in our assistant coaches in me as well showing. And then just seeing the success helps a lot as well. Of course, how would it not? So seeing the success, riding on it, and then having teammates to back you up as well was huge.
Did you feel like you were in the right place at
No doubt,
yeah, I love
no
that. I
doubt.
mean, was there a strength and conditioning program there? Is that something that was on your radar? Or what were you doing in that realm?
They're
No?
strictly for baseball. There was no strength and conditioning there. We did it all on our own.
I mean, were you working out on your own or was it not something
Yeah,
really on your radar? Okay.
yeah. No, we'd all go to a local gym all the time.
In the same way when I was in JUCO, I mean, obviously that was 20 years ago, but there was nothing. So it's funny that, JUCO's still not the same as a Division I program, right? I remember getting to Murray and being like, man, I'm so excited to have a real strength coach that can really give me guidance and like laser me in and whatnot. So, from what I think I know here, you spent a couple summers in the New England Collegiate League, Upper Valley. Is that correct?
Hmm.
Okay. Would love to hear about that. Strong stats. How was your experience here? Living arrangements, competition, memories. What stands out?
Yeah, so Upper Valley is good. It was a great spot to get some exposure and really test my abilities as well.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of studs up there. I mean, I know our three holes picked up with the Marlins now. A couple other guys have been signed slash drafted off that team as well. So being surrounded with just loads of talent really pushes you daily. I didn't have a good summer like I wanted to, but it was solid, yeah. But still young at the moment. Still trying to figure everything out as well. My swing, my body, everything.
Yeah.
So it was great for learning and growing that time.
How was that adjustment to wood bats, and had you ever had any experience with wood before that?
Yeah, the summer before I did, but other than that, it's there's for me there's always still like a little bit of an adjustment period, about week, 2 weeks, find the barrel again, because off the metal bat you can really get away with the end with the ball at the end, but with a wood you can't get nothing off the end. So
Yeah.
learning to trust the ball to get a little deeper was the biggest thing for me.
Any interesting living arrangements or anything like that?
I lived in a host family. They were great. Still talk to them, the Eislers. We'll talk every 6 months or so. But
Oh, beautiful.
once I first moved out, we really talked. Me and the little host son of theirs, we would FaceTime quite frequently, play games together, and this, that, and the other. So it was a fantastic spot.
Love that, my man. Well, here we go. This is a blind spot for me, and I'm absolutely curious to hear how this went for you. But you ended up at Louisiana Tech. So
Hmm.
actually, let's back up. Monster stats in JUCO. Who was talking to you? Were you getting any pro attention? Where all did you go visit?
So out of my sophomore year, I had that summer I was up in Upper Valley. There was some pro attention and stuff, some offers thrown around, this, that, and the other. Just didn't feel right at the time.
Or like an offer to
Um,
go play, like now, like
hmm
signed free agent?
something like that, yeah.
Ooh, interesting.
But
Okay.
I only took one visit to La Tech, but Toledo called, Middle Tennessee State called, Houston called, Campbell called, but I went to one visit at La Tech and they kind of committed like within a couple days after that.
Was there any communication with Murray State at this point?
Skirk reached out briefly on it, yes, but I committed so early that he almost didn't even have a chance to reach out. I rushed the recruiting process my sophomore year. I was like almost eager to get committed.
I similarly to, I don't regret it at all, but I signed in the fall at JUCO because I wanted to get it done with. I wanted to be
Hmm.
signed, play out my sophomore year, not feeling like I was playing for something and just enjoy the game. So I totally get that. I'd love to hear about why did Louisiana Tech feel like such a fit at the time?
Yeah, I mean, this the success they were having. They just came off the year prior of a regional host, and then that next year, the fall of the year before I got there, they went to the Austin regional. So the potential was there, the opportunities were there,
Hmm.
beautiful facilities, just everything felt like a right fit, and then that's why I committed there. It was a good offer, like brand new facilities. It felt like a small town feel. I thought I wanted to get away from home. It was about 9 hours from home, so I really kind of thought I wanted to move away a little bit and test those waters. Because
Yeah,
junior college was like an hour and a half from my house. It was nothing for me to be able to go home for on a Friday and be comfortable that night still. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, man, all the glitter was obviously not gold when you got there. Tell me about your experience there and like how things ended up. I mean, doesn't look like a lot of playing time, and there was talk of an injury, and then the portal and all this
mhm.
stuff. So I'd love to hear kind of how this year went for you. How did the fall go?
Yeah, the fall went really good actually. I balled out, played really well in the fall as well, but then the winter came around and I hurt my shoulder, and I hurt it while working out, and then so I get back to campus in January. And I try to work through it, this, that, and the other. I can't really move my arm at this time. I couldn't wash my hair with my right arm.
Just throwing?
Yeah, throwing and hitting was even worse because I couldn't like I had no strength in my right arm. I couldn't hold 5 pounds like this.
Yeah.
And this is coming off like 2 weeks before I got hurt. I was shoulder pressing 90s for reps. So I was working out pretty consistently and
Yeah.
feeling pretty good about myself. And I got hurt and I tried playing through it. That's why the limited time. But then I went and saw the doctor at the right time and at the perfect timing to get my medical red shirt.
So what ended up being the injury, or was there an official diagnosis or
Yeah, so
something,
the
or what?
diagnosis was like a long thoracic nerve palsy. It's basically like the nerve that starts in your neck and runs down through your chest like shut off and turned off, and I couldn't use any of the muscles that were like all
What?
through here. Mhm.
So what? How do you remedy that? What do they do for something like that?
They just said it takes time. So even playing
Really?
last year, about majority of the year last year, I was not 100%.
Really?
I
Like
didn't
this
start feeling
last year that you just
100%
played?
the year before. Sorry.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So into the year into about the summers when I started feeling healthy again.
Okay. So
Mhm.
then obviously injured, not playing. Um, why did you decide to leave then? Why didn't you just decide to come back and, run it again with full health? I'd love to hear that.
So just the talks we had with the coaches and stuff, it just didn't seem like the fit anymore for me. No hate to them. No, it's
Yeah.
still all love. Still want to see them do well, but it just talking to my family, praying about it, man of faith, and talking to a lot of friends and mentors that I really respect. It just felt right to come closer to home and just not even in anticipation of coming closer to home, but just to get a fresh start to clear my mind because I feel like going back there, I'd still have the memories of the injury and stuff that happened with that and stuff. So I needed to have a mental clarity and reset.
Man, I get that deeply. I alluded to earlier, I had a ton of injuries and surgeries myself, and it almost feels like you're almost like not totally part of the team when you're hurt and not
Hmm.
playing. It's like you are and you aren't in a weird way. So I totally get that. So I then how does that work then? So then once you decide that I'm going to move on, do you have to go and talk to the coach and say, "Hey, that's probably a tough conversation, right? Did that I'm leaving, I'm going to get in the portal, or how does that work?"
Yeah, no doubt. It's a hard conversation to have.
Yeah.
I have a ton of respect for the guy. Um, Calling him and telling him, and we decided it kind of together as well. So talking through it all together, and we decided that it would have been best. So it was the right move for us as a family. So they missed me being kind of close to home. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was a tough call to have. We just had to have the phone call. I was already home for the summer because I couldn't play or nothing, so I didn't go with them to conference tournament.
Yeah.
And so when it was time to have the call, we had the call. We talked about it, and we left on good terms.
Well, that's good then. Can you like this was obviously way past my time. I know nothing about doing the whole portal thing, but it's a huge part of the game now. How does that work? Do you just have to fill out paperwork, or take me through that a little bit if you could?
So it's not that hard of a process. You just have to fill out a couple forms and like watch a video, and that's about it.
Really? And then your name is just in this, and coaches just start calling
Mm-hmm.
you or can call you.
Yep. Yep.
And
They get all your information. They just reach out to you.
okay, so then from what I thought I remembered seeing is that you thought you might be done. Like you were close to being like,
Hmm.
all right, I'm packing these cleats up and I'm moving on with my life. And just imagine if that had happened, right?
No,
Like,
no kidding, man. It'd have been tough.
man, that is crazy. Take me through that. Take me through where your head was at when you were feeling that, and then Coach Kirka comes in and saves the day, or how does this work?
So yeah, I was home for the summer. First time being home in the summer in so long, so I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
And I was helping coach my little brother at the time, just because I needed something to do, and I still loved the game, of course. And when it was time for me to start trying to swing again, it just nothing really felt right. Obviously, taking months and months and months off of swinging, and even when I was swinging, it wasn't how I usually swing. I was
Yeah.
overcompensating for so much, and then weeks go by. No, it was really dry. I think I had one phone call, and they didn't even call back. So I don't remember the school. And then I was hitting the cage with my dad and stuff, getting super frustrated and just like I don't know if I can keep doing this anymore. And maybe a couple days later, Skirka calls, or it was
Man.
actually Cooper Goen called me first, assistant coach last year, and then I followed up with Skirka, then went on my visit and stuff, and he believed in me still, and that's all I needed was that fire to be reignited.
Man. That's how it happened.
Yeah, exactly. I was
That's
actually waiting on our game to start with my brother when Cooper Gumlin called me.
man. So going from a place mentally where you're like, my baseball career might be done, to Murray State scooping in, and then 2 years later, you're in the College World Series hitting. You lead the nation and lead off home runs, and you 22 dings. Like, just imagine if you had not done that, if you actually had hung them up, man. That's crazy. Wow, that gives me tingles, my man. Um, let's move on to this. What are some unique things about Murray State? There was all kinds of funny stuff in the media out there, untruths, but I understand that they were trying to paint this picture of very rural, blue collar, not a lot of money. Some of those things are true, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on like what was funny, what were you guys laughing about, what's true, what's not.
So he does not indeed cut the grass. We have a groundskeeper that cuts the grass.
I
That's
know.
a fact. But yeah, I mean everything about the place. It's gritty. Not a
Yeah.
whole lot, but it's we have everything that we absolutely need. Skirk takes care of us the best way he possibly can, and so it's truly a blessing. He cares for each player individually, and it was an absolute joy to be able to play for him for 2 years.
I love that, man. Are you moved out of Murray now?
I'm back home for now.
Was that, I mean, like you don't have, like you've moved all your stuff out of Murray, you're back home? Was that
hmm
sad?
Very sad. Yeah. As soon as the game was over, it all like a wave of emotions just it kind of fell upon me. And once I get
Yeah.
it out one time, I'm usually good. But it was I moved out by myself, so it wasn't as bad.
Oh, okay.
My parents were gone with my little brother, so that helped a lot because if they were there too, it'd have been rough.
You got to do it
But
on your own, kind of process your emotions and
hmm
whatnot. Man,
yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
remember packing up my place from Murray too, and there being some tears shed. Like, man, I can't believe this is over. Crazy.
I know it flew by. That's for sure.
It really does, my man. So let's move on to your junior year, and I've got some awesome. If guys are wondering, I've got some awesome Murray State questions, the fun ones at the end here. So we're just kind of working our way through here. But what man, didn't I tell you when we started this that this is just going to be two baseball dudes talking, and we're rolling, man. This is beautiful. I'm so enjoying talking to you, my friend. Let's go to your junior year here. How was your fall? Were you penciled in as a center fielder? Or did you have to fight for that spot? Let's just go from there.
No, so when I got to campus, I didn't know what. I mean, sure gave me an idea of like a corner outfield spot. But we didn't know Mercer was coming back because he was a 50-50 with the draft and stuff. I mean, obviously the dude's a stud. A lot of love for the guy. He actually just got engaged, so huge congrats
Saw
to
that.
him.
Congratulations to that dude. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he's a beast. Love the guy to death.
yeah.
But no, he moved to center last year, and so I was in right field. And then this year we kind of flip flop. But yeah, so I was the right fielder last year. But when I got to campus, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know if I'd be able to hit yet or anything with my shoulders still. But Skirk just was like, take your time, do whatever you need to do. I just want you ready in the spring. So that was huge for me as well.
Did you feel like you had health and success in that fall, or were you still kind of struggling with that?
Me personally, I didn't think I did, but then talking with like Coach Goen at the time and stuff, he was telling me like the stats and stuff. I'm not a big stat rat guy, but he was like reassuring me like, hey, you're still doing really well. Don't worry about it. So that helped a lot, but it wasn't to my standards.
Isn't that special when a coach believes in you and like you don't have to worry about like, is he second guessing me? Is he going to yank me out of the lineup? When he like tells you like, I believe in you, you are my guy. There's something really beautiful
Man,
about that.
there's a freedom about it. It's like you
Yeah.
can play free. It's you don't take it for granted, but you can play free and loose, and you get more out of the player. I think that's why Skirk's so great. We saw it last year with Drew Vogel. I mean, leadoff guy last year, he was a stud, 330, 20 pumps, like. And now there's a reason why he's in Pro Bowl now. Even like our Friday guy, Cade Vernon, then Dustin Mercer as well. Like you just see the freedom in these guys that they get to play. Carson Gardner, and it's just like they play so loose, so free, and they produce day in and day out. And it comes from the leadership of Skirka,
Ooh. So the culture environment that he has created allows you guys to play freely and up to your highest potential. That is
no doubt.
beautiful, man. I
Coach of the
was
year
really
for a
hoping to
reason.
get some insight about Skirka and how special he is during this. So we're getting little inklings here. That's
Oh, I can go
special,
on
man.
all day. I can go on
All
and on
day.
about that guy.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I've only had a few interactions with him. Like he came as the assistant coach the year after I left and was there for, a while. And then when that regime was done, he moved on to, I believe, but I don't remember where else he went, but a few years and then came back. And then obviously he has completely turned this program around and, everyone is Skirka for president. Love this guy, right? So, okay. Let's go. So we moved on. Oh, let's get into your junior year that we talked about the fall. So then strong, 304, 14 pumps. Let's talk about how this season played out for you, how you guys felt as a team. Any loud memories from this year?
Man, so that year we thought we had a chance. We thought last year was our chance to do what we did this year because
Really?
we were so senior heavy. I think in the lineup, I was like one of just like two new guys. So we were so experienced across the board. I had a lot of JUCO experience. Even Dan Talkin was the other new guy. He had a ton of experience prior as well. So
Mm.
we thought we had some serious chance to make some noise, and it wasn't our year to do it. But it was good. I learned a lot about myself. Um, Skirka helped me a ton. He showed me like a heat map of like the strikes I was taking. And I was like, holy cow, those are some meatballs. So therefore, that's why this year I try to swing a whole lot more, even attack
Really?
early. Yeah, I made that a big priority in the summer. That
So
summer.
that is kind of the thing behind your whole. I mean, all these announcers talked about how you ambush the hitters and you're very aggressive early, and obviously these leadoff bombs are demoralizing to another team. So that all stems from a conversation you and Skirka had about pitches that you were letting go that were meatballs. Yeah.
Yeah, they were solid. To me they felt off, but that's because I felt off all year. Um, but yeah, they're really good pitches, and I was trying to look for like almost that perfect pitch when there
Yeah.
never is one. So instead of just trusting my ability to go after it, I was taking way too much, and then kind of tried to transform it to the summer, and it started really working once it started clicking. Then I transferred it into this year.
And we'll get into more hitting stuff later because I am a hitting guy myself. But so were you looking for a zone or something? What are you looking for on that first pitch that lets you pull that trigger?
Just something elevated that I can get my best swing off of to really get the party started for the guys. I don't like to dumb it down. I don't like to be too like methodical about it. I just look
Yeah.
for a certain pitch. So like against Duke, the second game, I let off with a fastball homer. Then the
Yeah.
next game, it was like all like three straight sliders, and the third pitch I hit a slider out. So it's kind of adapt to what they do to me, and just I don't want to be so dead set on one thing to where I'd get myself in a hole on another.
Ooh, there we go. Now we're getting some good stuff. This is going to be a fun question for me because a former guest of mine, good friend of mine, PJ Finnegan, who is the head coach at Lindenwood, was telling me that Coach Sakurka is elite, an elite hitting guy, offensive guy. Can you speak to this? Why is he special? Any key mechanical concepts or theories or philosophies that he has that you think are worth kind of talking about? Anything worth talking about?
Yeah, so he's not huge into mechanics, and that's a big thing of what I like too, is because people are so different and so unique.
Yeah.
Like you go through looking at every guy in our lineup, no one had a remotely similar swing.
You're right. I
And
thought that
so
was
if
interesting.
exactly, so if you're trying to teach all 9 of those guys how to do one thing, 2 of them might click for 2 guys.
Mhm.
So you can't teach everyone the same exact thing mechanically over and over and over because people process a different way. You might try to get the same result, but people have to go about it different ways. So he's really good with approach. Like his approach philosophies are money, and he's really good at teaching it and working on it as well.
Can you speak to his approach at all? Is there anything stand out?
Yeah, so it's trusting yourself to see the fastball deep and drive it to the right center field, and then really just if they throw a hanging breaking ball, to really elevate it and drive it pull side. It's not complicated at all. It's really
Really?
simple. It's really old school, and it's just drive the ball oppo with heaters, and then elevated breaking balls plus counts get your best swing off and elevate it.
I mean, is there, so you said he's not a huge mechanical guy, so he's not, or, okay.
I personally haven't seen him or experienced him mess too much mechanically with people. He'll adjust to like say their hands are like leaking forward or something like that. He'll tell them to keep their hands back and stuff like that. But other than that, I've never seen him like fully change people's swings.
Is he your main hitting guy, or is that shared responsibilities between coaches, or?
He does a lot, and so does our guy this year named Hunter Wolf. They both do a
Okay.
whole lot.
Okay. Okay. Right on. This is gonna be fun for me because they asked this question to you guys during your conference interviews after the games in the College World Series, and I thought that was so. You guys did great. I was so touched. We were tearing up, man. Tell me about they asked about the culture. Tell me about the culture that Coach Sakurka has created down there where you guys are inspired, are believing in yourself that you can do these things, that you can beat these giants, take down these Ole Misses and these Dukes and these teams that, probably during my time, that belief might have not totally been there.
Yeah, he talked to us all before the regional. We were kind of excited to go to Oxford because we knew that we could go toe to toe with them. We proved it in the midweek and stuff. So we were excited for the challenge, excited for the opportunity, and of course it's a beautiful ballpark, great coaching staff, great players. I have
Yeah.
buddies on that team as well. So great time to be there. But the brotherhood he's created all year really, I think, really got solidified and noticed at that time when he was like, guys, we don't get hunted, we do the hunting. So if we don't back down from
Ooh,
these guys, we
ooh.
we throw the punches, we go with them. We don't just sit there and let them big boy us just because what's on the front of their jersey. And so
Ooh.
that's kind of what we had to do, and it worked.
And you guys played Ole Miss really tough earlier in the year, right? 9-8 or something like that in Oxford. Is that right?
Something, yeah, we got walked off. I don't remember the exact number, but we got
Yeah.
walked off.
But clearly that you belonged on the same field with them, right? So that must have been a little, tip in your cap, that hey, we're all right. We can do this, right? I
Yeah,
imagine.
no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, we were familiar with how they play and stuff. So I mean, not taking anything away from them, but we were just confident in our game plan, our approach, our ways of doing how we play the game is a good matchup for us. We thought, and so
Yeah.
it showed. I mean, they played us well. They played us good. We played them good. It just we happened to come on top this time.
I love that. And before we get into the whole magic of it, I don't know if you saw, but I clipped a some of your swing and slowed it down and put it out there. And I'm gonna play it right now. Here's the thing. Do you want to break it down or you want to tell me what you see, or do you want me? I could give you my thoughts on what I see too.
Yeah, we can do both if you want.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna play it right here. Let's see if I can get this in here. Oh yeah, here we go. Man, I love it. It looks like you're, I mean, would you say that you start 50-50?
I
Where's
try
your
to
weight?
feel that a little bit, but here lately I've been trying to start a little bit more 60-40 backside.
I
It's
was
just like
seeing that a little bit.
mentally it works for me because I've always, even as a kid, I was so heavy on my front foot.
Okay. So starting 50-50 looks like to me, it looks like you're getting into your back hip, coiling, whatever you want to call it, a little bit with your first move. Like you kind of are pulling back with that with
Hmm.
your upper body into your back hip here. No, not a lot of back movement and whatnot,
Hmm.
but it's a very classic stance to start with. You're starting up around your ears. Bat is flat-ish, and then you kind of pull into that cocked position, that inverted W, that scap load. Is that what you're thinking in your head, or is that just happening?
So I don't try to think much like in this exact moment, but like when I'm in the cage, it's starting from. I always like to work from the ground up. So yes, I try to think about 60-40 ish, but when I load, I'm trying to like load through my back heel. So that's how
Yep.
I could think about sitting my back hip a little bit better.
Yeah.
And when I load my hands, I really just think about my back elbow because I can't think getting back like this because when I do, I come way around. So I just trying to think about getting my back elbow up, and when I get my back elbow up, I naturally get in that good scat position now
Mm,
since I got healthy. And then
yeah.
so I've always liked a high back elbow because I think about driving my back elbow to my ribs, and that
Yeah.
gets me on plane early.
Ooh, and that was a huge thing that I saw in your swing was that you are on plane forever, to quote the Sandlot, my man. I mean, I'm seeing the barrels working rearward, and you're on plane, on path, and your extension. It seems like your arms are 10 feet long, dude. Like you're extending for so long. It's so beautiful. But I see a small barrel tip in there. It looks like a little bit, whether you're trying to do it or not. Um, it looks like you're turning your back hip to that pitcher, so that tells me you're into your hip. A very small, front stride. It looks like you're basically picking it up a couple inches, maybe taking out a little bit of slack. I'm gonna play it a little further here, but it's so simple and repeatable, man. I love it. So then, oh, right there, I love that. So that front foot, I love how you open up a little bit. Josh Donaldson talks about landing sometimes with that front foot open so you can really clear your hips. Is that what you're thinking, or is that just naturally kind of happen?
That's more natural. I try to think get my front toe down early. I don't think get my front foot down early, but
Okay.
I try to get my front toe down early because once your heel strikes, that's when your swing starts.
Right. Yeah.
And so I try to just get that front toe down early because and I used to have a little bit of a leg kick in high school, but I had to simplify a lot more in college because obviously, that dude that game he was a beast. I mean, he was low nines, funky arm slot, good breaking ball. He just
Yeah.
happened to make a mistake right there,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I just had to simplify a lot since I got to college.
Are you at all thinking like getting your barrel working rearward, that early bat speed, or is that just something that's occurring from good mechanics?
It's just occurring. So like I said, I just really think about getting my elbow to my ribs as fast as I can,
Mm.
because I think that's what gets. So whenever I go through it a lot in the cage, I do it with my little brother too. It's like when your elbow goes to your ribs, your bat will naturally get on plane.
Ooh,
If
I
you if
love
you just
that,
think about
dude.
it, it's straight
Yeah.
there and then boom, let it fly.
Love that. I feel like I see a little scissor kick from that
Yes,
back foot there. Yeah. Yeah.
it's natural. I don't know how I do it. I've never worked on scissoring like that
I know, and
before.
it's this
I
it's this
don't.
concept that hitting guys talk about that there's debate on whether or not you can ingrain that movement or it's just an outcome of correct mechanics. And obviously, I think you just have some really powerful mechanics here that's happening. You're in the zone forever. When your front heel gets down, your head is totally stationary and you start to rotate. It's beautiful. Like I said, extension for days. What I thought was interesting is some guys they're into that stiff front leg and they stick it forever, and you kind of are into it and out of it. I mean, obviously,
Mhm.
you're into a stiff front leg when you're making contact and whatnot, but high finish looks like you're fighting rollover. Are you at all thinking keep that top hand from rolling over?
No doubt, yeah. So that's one of the bad habits I had from injury is
Mhm.
I would not get good extension. So all winter, and so my whole goal this previous winter was to work on extension and ball flight a little bit better, backspin, all that stuff. So yes, getting a full extension on my swings is a big priority of mine.
I love that. Are you at all thinking get the ball in the air, or what you got there?
Yeah, I don't. Ground balls are outs. I mean, that's just truth, unless they're
Yeah.
hit backside. But pull side, yeah, I don't want a single ball on the ground. Pull side, they're just with the shift and with how good teams are, and even being on turf, like
Yeah.
there's outs. Their shortstop was a stud. Their third baseman was a grizzled veteran. So
Right.
anything on the ground over there is probably getting gobbled up. So yeah, pull side, I'm always trying to get in the air. Backside, trying to keep it low and firm.
Beautiful. I'm gonna start this over and let it play. I'm sorry. I feel like I just talked the whole time. I just love hitting mechanics and I love your swing, man. I remember watching
Hmm.
this guy, watching you, and being like, man, what a repeatable, easy swing to recreate. Like there's so many. There are swings that there's moving parts and they're kind of beautiful. Think like a Josh Donaldson where there's just a ton going on and it's beautiful, but it's so easy to get funky. So I imagine this is easy for you to just over and over and over. Is that kind of simple is better for you?
Yeah, no doubt. That's the purpose. A big cue for me is I try to keep my front arm when I load tight to my body. So I
Mm,
almost like want to like hug the racers on the chest. So I try to think like so when I load, I kind of like relaxed away, but when I load, I try to
yeah.
bring it in. And that's kind of where the barrel tip comes from. But I think like when I get tight here, I can stay tight through my swing.
What are you looking at pre-pitch? Like the emblem on the hat? Are you looking for release point or what you got?
Nothing too like crazy, like his shoulders or even his face. But like I try to like really relax my eyes because I try to stay in like a soft focus and try to go to like a hard focus like last second, like when he's about to release the ball.
I love it. All right, I'm gonna play this again. I'm gonna shut up this time. I can't help myself when I talk hitting, so I'm gonna shut up. If you just want to let it play and we can watch this beauty play through, that's great. If you have anything to say, please go for it, my man. Here we go. Man, that is violently beautiful, my friend.
Thank you. I will say one thing that me and the hitting coach we kind of talked through Wolf is that like when I'm going bad, I'm not loading with 2 feet. Like, I'm trying
Let's
to
speak
like
to that.
so yeah, like loading with 2 feet is like I'm trying to like stay in the ground as long as possible and like even on that swing like the last second I think pick my foot up and like kind of set it back down.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times I'll try to like load on my back foot with like one leg in the air or something. Like it's like a feel thing. So like
Yeah.
if I think loading with 2 feet, I stay on my legs a lot better. I'm a lot more balanced.
Let me ask you this: when your swing gets funky, what's going wrong, and how do you correct it?
Usually it's timing. My timing will get to where I'm like loading super late and I'm trying to rush to speed up. So I just gotta really I go to the machine, crank it up, and I think about trying to load super early and
Yeah,
almost as like swing my way out of it. So and it
yeah,
may not be good for some people, but it works for me. I go and swing until I start figuring it out.
love that. And you guys, so this will be a funny thing. You guys have a pretty nice indoor batting facility now, right? At Murray.
Yeah, it's nice but small. I mean, it's a cage and a half. It's better. It's for sure better than what it was, no
So you
doubt
know the
about it. But
stories of
yeah,
the old cage?
oh yeah, I got to experience it for a little bit when I first got there.
Oh, you did, really?
They didn't have the new one right away.
So for you guys that don't know, when I was there, and up until not that long ago, obviously, not a true indoor cage. I mean, it was essentially when we used to share it with the band. So they would have their instruments in there, and it's so small, and it was so scary and dangerous. I got hit with a ball one time, and it burned off my eyebrow for a full semester. I looked ridiculous. We had another guy, Zach Noonan, that got a concussion, and it was just dangerous to be in it. We were wearing full helmets and like catcher's gear at one point just to not get rattled and whatnot. So I'm glad that they've been upgrading facilities there and whatnot. That was incredible breaking down your swing. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for humoring me at the very least, my friend. All right, my
Of
man.
course.
Before we okay, before we start on your senior year, I want to get more into some Skirka stuff and just
hmm
about him as a person, why he is so special. Obviously, the whole nation fell in love with him and the things that he was saying. You guys rallied around him. So, what is so special about this guy? Let's start there.
Just who he is as a person. He's an unbelievable father figure. He's an
Yeah,
unbelievable husband, unbelievable guy,
yeah,
friend, mentor, you name it. He's unbelievable at it. Um, he's just a good human being from the
yeah,
core, and it's hard to come by these days. And so I think that's where it starts. Is you're playing for a phenomenal human being that cares about you more than just as a baseball player.
man, that is so beautiful. How is he as a motivator? I imagine he's having some pretty deep conversations with you guys before some of these huge moments.
Yeah, he's legit. I mean, as good as it gets. Like even like before Ole Miss, like we're gonna go on the hunt tonight. This, that, and the other. It's like we're not gonna be intimidated by this. So to me, it gets me fired up.
Yeah,
And I'm the guy that doesn't want to get fired up before games. I try to stay as like even kill as possible.
yeah,
So for him to be like that, it's awesome. He's so just calm, cool, and collected all the time that it's just kind of like you never have to worry, you never have to stress.
yeah.
Because if he's in control, we're in control
If he's in control, I love that. Would you consider him like a player's coach?
for sure. Players coach, he's the everything coach.
Oh,
Literally, yeah, you name it, he does it. So
yeah.
yeah, players coach, no doubt for sure too.
Like, do you feel like if you were having a personal problem that had nothing to do with baseball, you could walk into his office and he would help you out?
I could walk into his house and he'll help me out. That's the kind of level we're at.
Man,
Like I could go sit on his couch with him and he would help me, no doubt about it, no matter what time of day it is.
that's beautiful. Speak to the man. There was obviously a touching thing that was shared in the media about you guys going to his son's little league game. Which was that after which win? I forgot.
I think
I think it was
Oxford.
Oxford. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speak. How
Yeah.
was that organized? Was that a touching moment for him? Obviously, he was very touched.
Yeah. The kids missed the Keegan. He's awesome. He's missed so many games just for us. So me and a couple guys orchestrated, like, we texted the group chat and stuff, and we're like, hey, this dude misses so much for us. He missed like half his season already. It's like, hey, let's go support him tonight. So we had like 20 something guys show up, and it was a great time. It meant the world to him.
Was he touched? The
Oh,
son?
absolutely. He loved it. Yeah, he absolutely loved it.
How old was he? Or is he?
I think he's 9.
Imagine being 9 years old and like a whole Division 1 baseball team shows up to your game. That must have been. He must have
Oh
felt like the
yeah.
coolest kid in the world.
Yeah, it's like, well, the thing is, like, it's like all of his big brothers showed up. That's the big thing. That's what's
Hmm.
cool. Cause like we're all like, yeah, we were all so tight. Cause when I
Hmm.
first got here, he would hardly talk to anybody, and then this year he was talking to everyone on the team.
Really? So he spends a
Hmm.
lot of time around you guys?
Yeah, so he'd come to practice after school and just run around and stuff.
That's beautiful, man. I'd love to hear about so like in August, fall, did you guys I guess you talked about your junior year, you felt like you had a special team and you guys were a little rough this fall. So at what point did you feel like maybe this team is special? Or we're on a mission for something here.
So I thought our offense was going to be legit from the get go.
Hmm.
The pitching was what I was like a little concerned about because we had so many new ones. It wasn't the ability of the guys.
Yeah.
It was
Just
just like
untested.
we had so many pieces that we had to fill that it was just a huge question mark, and no one could have guessed what would have happened. So
Right.
I think what really clicked was, I mean, it might have been February when it all clicked, when we got everyone just coming back together, and we put everyone on one side rather than us clashing out against each other.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Let's start getting into some of this stuff here. Um, 8 leadoff home runs this year. I remember reading that and being like, is that a real stat? So crazy. There is no more demoralizing thing than for the leadoff batter to go yard on you. To quote my favorite baseball movie, announcing your presence with authority, Bull Durham. What does it feel like to start games off like that with the Jimmy and just, stomp on the other team's enthusiasm, energy? What you got?
Yeah, it's cool. Starting off with a bang, of course. I always have to giggle because when I get back to the plate, I have Dusty right there behind me. He always looks at me, he's like, "Dude, come on now," because he knows he's about to get spammed all off speed. So it would be frustrating for him, but he's a trooper. He got through it. He had a heck of a year. So, but no, I mean, it's cool. It's definitely a way to get the boys going. But
Yeah.
I try to stay with like a slow heartbeat throughout the whole game, not
Mhm.
show too much emotion until it's time to. But no, I definitely love it. Internally, I'm going crazy, but I try to not show it on the outside.
Can you feel that like energy shift or momentum when you do something like that? Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, especially when it's
yeah.
like first pitch. It's kind of like fans haven't even settled in yet.
Right.
It's really cool. It's you can feel like the you can feel the breath being taken out of some people.
For sure. Absolutely. So obviously you guys had the green light to be aggressive early. Can you speak to that? Was that a Skirka thing? I mean, I guess you kind of talked about him telling you that you were letting pitches go. Was this other people as well? Was this kind of a philosophy for the team?
Yeah, it comes and goes in ways. Depends on the situation, but I've never been a leadoff hitter before in my life. Really, I've always been a middle of
Interesting.
the order guy.
Yeah.
But the way he likes to do it is he likes to get the game going well, doubles, homers, this, that, and the other. That's how you win games. And I was talking to him one day. I was like, "Hey, did we see something here? Did we work a count or anything?" He said, "No, go hit a double." And so ever since then, it's kind of like, okay, he trusts me to go do that. So let's take the aggression with it too and have some intent behind it.
Okay. What are there any before we get into like all your postseason stuff? Does anything stand out from this year that you feel like is worth mentioning? Tough stuff you guys went through, anything like that?
The whole year was tough. Weather was not our friend this year.
Mhm.
We missed a ton of games. We played a lot at neutral sites. This wasn't our year this year on the schedule side of things.
Right.
But I think just the perseverance of the team, the grit, that helped us form a really good bond because I mean we went through so much tough times from shoveling snow off the field to last minute moving games to off field sites and this, that, and the other. So just it shows the grit of the team.
Yeah.
We had a ton of walk off wins early too. So
Yeah.
I think that just showed. I think that prepared us for the postseason, showing that we're never out of a game. So I think that whole correlation of the year was special.
Ooh, I love that. One thing that Mercer said, I believe, you talked about trust and love that you guys have for each other as teammates. Is this the closest team you've been on? Can you speak about the chemistry? Some of the best, most fun teams I've ever played on. We loved each other. Like we were really, really close. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. This team was by far the closest, if not one of the closest. I mean, you know how JUCO is. You live with everybody, so that's the only difference between this team and that. If we had those living conditions, it'd be no doubt. But from a standpoint of just love and trust, yeah, for sure, this team is head over heels number one. And I got brothers for life, not even just teammates, but I got like men that'll be in my wedding, this,
Yeah.
that, and the other.
What kind of stuff are you guys doing off the field to hang out, to bond that you can talk about?
Oh yeah, for sure, pickleball.
Pickleball, really?
Yeah, so it'd be like 8 of us, and we just go play pickleball.
That's the secret, huh? That's Murray State's secret this year, pickleball?
I guess it was. Mercer started it, and we a bunch of us just kind of followed in suit.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and then some
beautiful.
guys would go play disc golf, and the other guys would go golf, but a
Yeah.
lot of us would go play pickleball.
I love that, my man. Let's get into the MVC tournament here. I remember kind of at the start of the year hearing you guys were good and being like, man, that would be crazy if they could win the MVC or, finish at the top of the MVC. That would be such a incredible thing for Murray State. Obviously, I was selling you guys incredibly short. What stands out from the MVC tournament? Obviously, home run in the first game against Belmont, home run against SIU Carbondale. What memories are loud?
The dog pile. I mean, honestly, that's the biggest one. And then
Yeah,
I guess the first game, getting past the first game was the biggest test. Let the
yeah,
emotions settle in, the um, the nerves, and we knew having Belmont first game was gonna be tough. They always play us well,
yeah,
and there's history there because I think we both switched to the conference at the same time, coming from the same conference.
yeah.
But yeah, they always find a way to play us well. They have a great coaching staff, great players. But we got through that game and we had confidence rolling and keep building off that confidence.
Love that. You spoke a little bit earlier about trying to be calm when you're playing an even keel. You just feel like you play better in that state,
Yeah, I'm not the guy that can get all like
jacked
hyped
up.
up, fired up and stuff. I'm before a game, I'm listening to this may not work for some people, but I listen to like calming, soothing worship music before a game.
Really?
Yeah, so if I'm having headphones in on the bus, I'm listening to like worship music to like
That was
help me
good.
stay in the moment, stay present,
Beautiful.
and trust my faith as well.
That was going to be my next question is what tools do you have that kind of get you into this place where you feel like you can play your best? So worship music before
It,
the games?
it's faith, truly just faith. I talk to God in the outfield. I'm praying to Him all the time. When I'm on deck, I look at my bat and stuff, and I'm having conversations like, God, I give you the glory, no matter what happens, successes or failures. Like I lay this at the foot of the cross, and I give it to you, no matter what.
I love that. And you had a really cool clip talking about your faith too in the College World Series. This question is for later, but we're already here. So why don't we talk a little bit about how important your faith is to you? Has that always been something that was deep within you, or did that grow later in life? Or I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. To start off with like a short story, like my grandfather was a pastor of a church, and so
Mm,
I grew up going to church a lot. But then he passed away, and we kind of it hurt the family tremendously because I mean the head guy of the household, the one that's leading the prayer at all the family functions and even at church and stuff. Is like it kind of took an impact. It was my dad. It was my mom's dad, and
mm,
so that hurt us tremendously. He was like the rock of our whole entire family. And so that kind of impacted us from a church going standpoint for years until about sophomore year. I got plugged into a church with a buddy from high school, and that's when it really took off. And once I noticed I was trusting him more, that my game started playing better just as like
mm.
a result without even trying to. So it's I don't do it so I play better. I play better because I do it.
Ooh, damn, that was beautiful, my friend. Man, yeah. So you kind of your faith was a little bit rattled there for a little bit, and then you found your way back. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean rocky
Okay.
road, but had some great support, great friends, and people that drug me back.
I love to hear that, my friend. Okay, man. Let's move on to this regional tournament here. Oxford, what is obviously this is kind of a crazy thing. What is Coach Skirka saying before all this and whatnot? And how much time did you have between MVC and headed to Oxford here?
I think we had 2 or 3 days, give or take. I don't remember exactly. That whole in between of the games is like a blur because it all happened so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we celebrated the conference tournament, of course. We enjoyed that while we could, but then we knew it was time to get to work as well. So once I think we celebrated it up until the watch party, and once we found out we went to Oxford, we had practice that day. I think we left maybe the next day, but we
Yeah.
were still back to it, and we were just ready for business. And he just he just was preaching to us, was like, stay ready, and then proceeded into like, we're on the hunt now, boys. Like this isn't a fluke. We're here for a reason.
We're on the hunt. So you guys were fully believing that you belonged there on that same field with those guys and that you guys could win. Yeah.
Yeah, we were honestly kind of upset that we weren't a 3 seed. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
obviously, small school never made it before.
Right.
We well, not made it within recent, I guess, the regional, but yeah, we thought we were a good enough team to be a 3 seed, but obviously they thought different. So we just the hand that we were dealt, we made the best with.
Love that. So take me through game one. 9-6 victory over Ole Miss. Leadoff bomb. What stands out, my man? How'd that feel hitting a leadoff bomb against Ole Miss?
It was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I mean they have a dude on the mound, Riley Maddox. He's a stud. Been really consistent for him all year.
Mhm.
Um, Again, just going back to trying to keep the slow heartbeat, set the tone early, get on base any way I can, not trying to do too much. I was telling myself actually going back to the first homer stories, like don't do too much, stay relaxed, don't do too much because 12,000 people there yelling. I mean, you're gonna
Yeah.
let the atmosphere. You swing 50%, the atmosphere will take it up to 85 at least. So like,
Ooh.
so I'm trying to think, stay as simple and as smooth as possible, and then inside out of the ball a little bit, but it carried over. It's got enough to carry over.
Love that. So you talk about slowing down your heart rate. Do you do any breath work or anything like that? Or if
Hmm.
you're in the box, what are you doing to take yourself down?
So yeah, on deck, I'm controlling my breaths, trying to stay synchronized with my swing. So it's like an exhale on my swing, stuff like that. But before I get to the box, I'm slow, deep breaths in the nose, out the mouth, focusing on like thinking about my heart rate slowing down and then visualizing success.
Are you guys doing any mental work? I mean, mental skill stuff at Murray? Do you guys have a guy or anything
Mm,
like that? No,
No, no,
just
I
Coach
kind of learned
Skarka.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, just Skirk the man. I
yeah.
learned a little bit at JUCO through that coach there, and then just just tidbits I'll learn on like social media and stuff. I'll ask buddies and stuff. Like I asked the shortstop from UCLA, like his little vision board. I asked him about that and just trying to pick brains from all the good players. Obviously, he's a stud. Got Player of the Year and some other category. So I just try to take a lot of from the good and take what I can and make the best out of it.
Yeah, love that. Does anything else stand out from this first game, or you want to move on to the next?
Or Shuddy, Nick Shuddy was a dog. I mean that dude can flat out compete. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Like his stuff may not be on that day. I'm not saying it wasn't that day. He was electric, but even when his stuff's not on, we always know we have a chance with just the mentality he has from a competitive aspect.
yeah.
Then of course 9 runs off the staff that's electric. The offense played well and just it was a great way to start. And it kind of was like, okay, holy cow, now it settles in. We are absolute studs.
I love that. Let's go ahead and move on then to Georgia Tech. Um, 13-11 victory, another bomb. Anything stand out about that bomb?
Oh, the dude was rolling. He just happened to hang a slider in at the wrong time. He was funky, but yeah, Georgia Tech they were dangerous. I was nervous about them big time, just because from the fact I haven't played them before, and that you hear like the Drew Burris, the Lodis, they're loaded with some young talent, and you look at the scoreboard with all their averages. Holy cow, their lineup was dangerous.
Right.
Tons of 330 plus guys.
Now, you've talked about hitting multiple jimmies off sliders. Are there any pitches that you do have problems with? Can't pick up the spin or,
I guess anything that Gage Wood throws, apparently.
oh gosh.
No, that was a joke, but I mean, when you're going well, and when you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
I guess like anyone really struggles with the same side changeup at the most. Like well executed same side changeup is pretty tough, but I like to think that I can handle just about anything that anyone can throw at me.
Love that. So then, next game, pretty tough loss, 19-8 to Ole Miss. That can be a little demoralizing to get put 19 on. What was the temperature after the game? What was Skirka saying? How were you guys feeling?
Yeah, I mean, no, we weren't sweating it much. They came off a really good win. They beat Georgia Tech, I believe, the game before. So we knew that they were either going to come out and ready to go or they were going to be flat from being tired. So it was going to be one way or the other. One team was going to win big. So that's all. I had a feeling that way. It just happened not to be us. Excuse me. But I mean, he was just like, hey guys, one game, one loss. Who cares? Move
Right.
on. We weren't worried about it one bit. It's baseball. We walked way too many guys, and then it was just the deficit was too much for the offense to come back from. So we flushed it instantly. It was ready to go the next day.
Love that. All right, here we go, man. I'm excited about this. June 2nd, the Racers make history, defeating Ole Miss 12-11 in a thrilling game. You go 2 for 5. There's a controversial play at the end that we were all just like, "Oh my God," they're gonna let him come back, and felt like they were getting another chance before you guys closed the door. What did this game feel like? What was the energy, the atmosphere? You guys knew that you were standing at the door of making history and forever being baseball legends. You guys will forever be remembered in baseball lore. So let's just start talking. I know I'm just like word vomiting right now, but I'm just excited, man. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, so we jumped on him pretty early, I think. They started a young cat. I think his name was Hooks. He had good stuff, but we put pressure on him early. We got on him early, and so we got up like 11-3, I think, at one point, and it was like, oh, holy cow, we might do this. And here they come scratching and clawing. I think the biggest thing
Right.
was is that the crowd decided those games so much because they had such a crowd presence there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it messes with you, man. Like especially the pitcher, like you have everyone just chanting at you, throw it in the dirt, do this, do that, and it's like it can mess with you if you're not careful. But thankfully, we have Graham Kelm with the slowest heartbeat in America. Disgusting curveball, great fastball, good slider. He's got it all. He was able to weather the storm, and holy cow, we did it. It was cool.
Man, I mean, like in that last inning when leading up to that ground ball, what are you feeling out there? Like what is going through your head?
I'm just like, let's not lose this. Pretty much, like,
Yeah.
kind of like, just don't let it. Just, it's hard to explain. Like, I don't even really remember what was going through my head. It's kind of like, let's shut the door. Let's do
Yeah.
this. I think they were in a good part of the order too. I think it was middle, maybe like four-ish.
Yeah.
So it was at a dangerous spot in the order, but I trust Graham with just about anything. So he was a dude, that's for sure.
Take me through the feeling when that ground ball was hit and you guys did it
Um,
to end the game.
okay, yeah. So it was a line drive to me there. The ground ball was a Duke.
Oh, right, all right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, you're good. You're good. Absolutely. But it was. I was like, when it was hit to me, I was like, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. I'm not gonna lie. But after we caught it, after I caught it, I was like, holy cow, we just did it. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It was like we're going to a super regional. I think me and Dusty are looking at each other like, holy cow, we just did it.
Yeah.
And just like it's like, you didn't know what to think at the time. It's like we're
Right.
not supposed to do this.
I
Like
know.
Murray
No
State,
one
like
no
like
one
like
thought you were supposed to do this.
no, no. That's the beauty of it. It's like being the underdog that people root for, but no one believes in. And it's
Ooh.
like now people are starting to believe in us.
Mm-hmm. Man, so what does coach say to you after this game? I mean, you guys are just celebrating, elation. What we got?
Yeah, I don't know what he said after that game, to be honest. Besides, like, let's go, and just so fired up. I think we can more talked about the next day. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was electric. Um, I think I might have shed a tear or two, but I mean, because I mean, not let alone going to the regional. But going to the regional was cool enough, but then let alone winning it was we thought was the icing on the cake. Obviously, we still believed we could do more, but it was like we're just trying to enjoy the moment, and that's what was beautiful. It's enjoying the moment with your brothers by your side.
That is beautiful, my friend. Tell me about the okay, so then uh winning there, headed home. Are you guys home for a few days and then you head off to Durham or how does this work?
Oh man, I think we're home maybe 2 days. I don't even remember how long we were home. It wasn't long at all though. I don't think we were ever home longer than I think I had time to do my laundry and leave again.
That
Truthfully, I
quick?
think we were. Yeah, I
Did it
think we
feel
may have
real or
one.
does this feel like a dream or what's going on?
It didn't feel real at all. I mean,
Yeah.
because at JUCO, I think we were already done by then at the World Series and stuff. So it was like I was just used to being done with baseball by then, and it's like, holy cow, we're still going. Like this is awesome.
Man, okay, so then you guys obviously are, headed up to Duke. Is there any like communication between like the athletic department and I mean, they're probably not expecting all this to be happening too, or is anything, are you guys getting more gear or anything like that, or what's going on there?
Our players actually kind of reached out to places for stuff. So we got some Shady Rays. Shady Rays hooked us up with some stuff. Skirk
Cool.
reached out to Evo Shield. They hooked us up with another pair of batting gloves,
Oh, sick.
elbow guard, leg guard, and then sliding mitt. So that was awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, other than that, I don't know if the department really reached out to anyone or anything. We just
Okay.
kind of showed up, balled out. We did get a new JBL speaker that Matt Parentow hooked us up with.
Sick.
It
All
was
right,
a
my
huge
man.
one. It was like a big party speaker. It was sweet.
So headed off to Durham, man. Tell me about it. Let's go. How are you guys
Well,
feeling?
being from Kentucky, I didn't like Duke at all because Kentucky hoops and stuff is like, okay, we're gonna go up here. We might as well win.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, we were feeling good. We liked the draw. We thought we were offensively a lot better, but their pitching was good. Their pitching was
Yeah.
really good. That's why they win
Right.
a lot of games. They're funky lefties. They could execute multiple pitches for strikes. So our kind of report was like we don't hit lefties well, but I think it was just the slow lefties that we didn't hit well. Because I
Mhm.
think we kind of proved there that we could hit lefties.
So what stands out from that first game? That loss, obviously.
Yeah, I liked where we were at. I thought we had a lot of chances to win that game. Uh, I think the first game at Duke and the game against UCLA correlate a lot. I know we'll get into UCLA later, but
Yeah.
we had runners on multiple times, multiple chances to score runs, but just like line out or just a good play on their part or a good pitch on their part. It's just they got the outs, they got the timely outs. We didn't get the timely hit, and so that's the only thing that comes to mind on that game is that we were within striking distance
Yeah.
numerous times. It
Right.
just wasn't our night that night.
So not demoralizing at all. It wasn't taking the
No,
wind out of your sails. You guys felt like you belonged and you were ready to get back in there. Yeah.
we all fully believe that we could have easily won that game, no
Mm.
matter what.
Ooh, I love that, dude. Let's
Truthfully,
move on to
me and Mercer got in the room. We were talking like, man, we 1000% belong. We no doubt can win, can beat these guys.
and that was what I thought too. Watching from the sidelines, I was like, man, it didn't look like a powerhouse D1 versus a mid major. It looked like you guys belonged. Like you guys looked like a powerhouse to me, which is hard for me to fathom, thinking back to my Murray State experience. We were on the OVC when I was there. We were very much a middling Division 1 program. To see you guys battling these giants and look like you belong was just so special, man. We're all so proud of you guys, man. Just incredible. Let's move on to the second game here. Offensive explosion by you guys. You end up 19-9, kind of stomping on them. You want to take me through this game? What you remember? What stands out?
Yeah, we got the momentum early. I think I hit a leadoff homer that game, and then it just kind of started from there. I think we put up the zero right away, and then it's kind of like okay, got the momentum early, and we just started rolling. And then the opposite of the night before, we had things start falling, and it was almost like they couldn't get us out that day. Not even like to their abilities, like nothing to discredit them whatsoever. Just that night things fell our way. The
Yeah.
night before things fell their way. So it was kind of like an evened out day. But
Uh-huh.
obviously we put some really good swings on a lot of good pitches, and we just happened to run away with it and never looked back.
Man, so let's go. I'm already got the tingles talking about this game 3 here. You guys end up clinching. Take me through this, man. What were you guys feeling before the game? Were you feeling the weight of it, the magnitude of you guys could make history right now?
Yeah, I think our big thing all year was like we had house money the entire postseason. Um, I got that from my buddy that was at Evansville the year before that made that run and almost made it to Omaha. They were one game shy against the national champs.
Yeah.
I was talking to him and stuff. He started reaching out and we talked. And he kind of said they were just playing with house money. So I was kind of like, I mean, heck, if they were doing it, why don't we do that? And so
Mhm.
we had a good draw, and then we just kind of played free and easy, and like we knew we belonged,
Yeah.
and we try to flush the win, flush the loss, and focus just on this one, winner take all, give it all we have. I mean, because it could have been potentially our last time playing together.
Two jacks in this game, man. You're gonna go down in Murray State history forever. What did it feel like hitting those things, man? Knew it right off the bat.
Yeah, it was surreal. First one was just he threw me three straight sliders. The third one hung. Got my best swing on it, carried out to left center. And then the second one is just a fastball he grooved. at the wrong time. I got to head out, and yeah, it felt really good. I mean, surreal moment, one of the coolest moments of my career so far.
Can you speak about the energy? What did it feel like there? I mean, was it? You got
Oh,
anything?
man, the energy at Duke itself.
Just around this game, just like this is such an
Oh
important.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. The game was awesome. We loved every bit of it. I mean, we that's one thing we try to beat you with. We were trying to beat guys with energy in the dugout and also beat you on the field as well because we feel like if we
yeah.
won the dugout, we have a better chance of winning the field.
Okay. Can you take me through what are your thoughts on that play at the end of the game that everyone was just like, oh my God, this is a like what were your thoughts? What were you guys' thoughts, players?
Um, After it happened, I was trying to like, okay, guys, let's hone it back in because we don't know if we have to go back out or not. Let's treat it like they're going to overturn it,
Yeah,
so we can go and lock in for the next thing. If not, we'll celebrate again.
yeah,
But we're going back and watching it all. To me, whatever the call on the field was should have stood, whether he was safe or out.
yeah,
That's
100%.
irrelevant. I thought that it was there was not enough evidence to overturn it.
Yeah,
Either
totally.
way, either way. Um, because our guy Decker, he was trying to get out of the baseline, and then the runner caught his foot. So I didn't look too hard to see exactly where his foot was, but
Yeah.
I thought from a quick glance that whatever was on the field should have stood, but it didn't. And we persevered through it. Again, Graham Cohen with the slowest heartbeat in America did his thing.
Was it at all hard to pull it back together after thinking you won and we're started celebrating and it's like, whoa, 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 you guys got to keep playing. That's
It was
crazy.
tough because it was tough because we dogpiled.
Yeah.
I think that was the hardest part is because we went from a dog pile to having to play one more out, and their cleanup hitter was up. He already hit a ball 430 earlier that game.
Right.
Um, for me though, I was already telling myself like, hey, let's lock it back in, trying to get some guys to lock back in too, just in case. And then it just happened to work. But yeah, it was extremely tough, no doubt about it. I thought once they overturned it, it was gonna be like one of these fairy tale things, like all right, game over, y'all lose. But
I know.
again, Kellum does his thing.
Imagine if it had gone the opposite way. If after that play they had found a way to come back. I mean, that would be the most painful thing ever. That would be something that would haunt you, right? Nightmares. I imagine. I don't know. You tell me. You were in that game.
Man, that would have been tough. That would have been a really tough pill to swallow because it's like you're one step, literally a step away from the
History.
college baseball promised land. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
but no,
Okay,
I
so then
mean
take me
it was
through.
cool.
All right, no, take me through that ground ball clinch. The feeling you guys, it's over. Dog pile, pandemonium, Murray State history. No one would have ever thought this. You guys are legends forever. What do you got?
It was kind of more of like a sigh of relief
Really?
because it's like,
Like
wow,
any
we actually just
pressure?
feel well from going from the dog pile back to the game. It's like, okay, now we can breathe again
Yeah.
because like the tension was built up again that after that call was overturned. So for me, it was a sign of relief, but it was also like also the celebration aspect of like, wow, okay, we just did it again.
Yeah. So then when did it sink in? Like, we're going to the College World Series.
It sunk in once we got there. And then I walked on Charles Schwab Field for the first time. That was the only time it sunk in. But it's still
Yeah.
hard to believe that I was just there like a week and a half ago.
I know, right? So okay. So you guys went back to Murray for a little bit, right? A couple days or a day or
Like half a day maybe. Again,
that's
enough
it?
time to do my. We left. We landed that day, and we flew out the next day. Not even time to practice or nothing. Like literally
Yeah.
time to wash my clothes and leave.
Okay. So was there any so I imagine you guys when you started this year, there's no way you thought you were going to be doing press conferences and stuff, later in the year. Was there any kind of like press training or like, hey, say this, don't say this, or anything like that, or you just be yourself?
Just be ourselves. So
Oh,
we got us
that's
there.
beautiful. And you guys were you were so authentic, so real, so awesome in those conferences. You guys sitting there talking, and I loved it. So then uh what was it like getting to Omaha? Just go there.
It was. I bet it was about as imaginable as like a 6-year-old on Christmas morning.
It's
Like it was just.
beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you cannot describe it. First thing we did off the plane was go to the field. But
Yeah.
just going to the field as it's empty does not describe the feeling of like your first practice or even like the first
Yeah.
inning.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was truly the time of my life, and I'll never forget it forever. It feels like a blur.
Can you speak to those? What you just said, like the first inning, first game, like what is going through your head, the feelings?
I had goosebumps the whole time in the
Yeah.
first inning. Like the whole first time I was in the outfield, I had goosebumps. It was unbelievable, unbelievable. Like I felt like that's the closest I've ever felt to being like a big leaguer,
Oh,
and it was cool. It was because we go from playing with like 300 people, and they're all parents, to
yeah.
24,300 people, and I don't know 24,000 of them.
Right. So that's I don't know what your attendance is like at Murray these days, but I mean back when I was there, it was essentially parents and girlfriends and maybe a handful of friends and whatnot. What was your experience at Murray while you were there? Similar?
Yeah, extremely similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, parents, girlfriends, and maybe a scout or two.
You're right. Yeah. So what's interesting now, after this, there has to be a change, right? There has to be more interest, right? Wouldn't that be the wildest thing if like it was just business as usual next year? Like it's still parents and girlfriends after you guys went to the College World Series? I hope it changes, right?
Man, oh, absolutely. I hope they invest more into that place and really make it, because that place could be, with Skirk at the helm, that place could be an extreme force to reckon with.
I totally agree. And obviously he just re-signed for 4 years. So shout out to Skirka. I mean, that guy could have taken $1 million job somewhere and
No
no one
doubt.
would have faulted him for it. And I think everyone in Murray State that was a baseball player in the know thought he was gone. And no one would have been like mad. They'd have been like, hey, you did a great job for the program. You're incredible. Go get $1 million, my man. But that he re-signed for 4 speaks volumes to him and that he really does love Murray. And shout out to Nico Yanko too. He was a football player while I was there. That guy is doing an incredible job as an AD, getting money into the programs, getting donations, locking up Skirka, updating facilities. That guy is incredible. He's actually going to come on here this summer too. So shout out to Nico. I got to ask you this though. Are there opportunities for like NIL deals for Murray State type guys, or did things pop up when you guys went here where people, sponsors and stuff, reaching out to you guys or anything like that?
I don't know of anyone that had NIL while I was there.
Okay, nothing like that.
I got a little bit once I went to Omaha, but
What'd you get?
like
Can I ask?
I yeah, I wore a T-shirt for a company. They paid me a little bit just to get off the bus and make a post about it, and then I just had some T-shirts get launched from myplayerathlete.com, and I think they're doing pretty well, and it's really cool to see that. They actually sent me a shirt, and it's really cool.
Are those out right now?
Yeah, it's out now. It's the link's in my bio on Instagram.
Check this man's bio out. I'm gonna go buy one right after we get off here, dude. I didn't realize
It's
that was
sweet, dude.
there.
It's sweet.
That's sick. I'm buying one. Getting me a 15. The Murray Masher. 15 Murray Masher. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
that shirt
it's
made, my
cool
man.
stuff, dude. Heck
That's what's
yeah.
up.
So yeah,
Okay.
it's cool.
That is sick. Did this feel at all? Did it ever feel like it was a dream or like this? You're gonna wake up or anything? Is that a weird question to ask? Or I don't know.
No, yeah. So yeah, it felt like a dream the whole time, to be honest. Because like the year before, I'm at my host mom's house, and I'm sitting there with my roommate, and we're just watching Tennessee, Florida State, all those guys. Because
Right.
last year was all SEC, ACC, so it felt like it was impossible, especially
Yeah.
now with NIL, like you just said, transfer portal. It's almost like it was impossible for a mid major to make it anymore.
Right. Was it cool? Like, how kind of the country embraced you guys and the underdog and like rooting for you did you feel that?
Oh, absolutely. The love, the support.
Yeah.
Social media blew up like no other, so it was really cool there too. Even walking around like the Omaha Village, like kids would come up to you like, "Hey, love you, love what you're doing. We're rooting for you." And, like even parents from other teams, like even like Arkansas fans were like, "We didn't want it to be you guys, this, that, and the other." So it was really wholesome and awesome.
Was it cool signing some autographs and these little kids looking up to you and stuff like that?
Oh, no doubt, it's a dream come true.
Remember, was it Mercer who was talking about this is the first time I've ever felt like a famous or something like that?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you're gonna.
Yeah.
I signed more autographs that week than I have my entire life, and it was awesome. Like there was constantly a ball being passed around on the team. It's like, here, everyone sign this for this kid, this, that, and the other. So it was awesome.
Beautiful. I have a custom for every guest that's come on. I have to get a ball. So if I could send you a ball after this and you would sign it, I would be grateful. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no doubt for sure, man.
My man, dude. All right. So tell me about the energy of Omaha. You're there with these like elite programs, the SECs and all this. Was there an energy to it? Was there something like that? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah, you're with the elite. Like I said earlier, we're with the shortstop Rock Chakowski. We're with the
Yeah,
Golden Spikes Award winner. We're with
right.
Jared Jones from LSU. You're with the biggest names in baseball. I mean, I think the shortstop from Oregon State's a projected top five pick this year. And so you're like we're with the lottery picks. These guys will be millionaires in about
Yeah,
2.5 3 weeks. So like
right.
we're going toe to toe with all these guys, and it's
Yeah.
like wow, we belong. We're that good too.
You guys did belong too. And that was one thing that I kept having a hard time wrapping my head around. Like I was sitting I made it to Omaha. Omaha bound, baby. I was there. My good buddy, former Brett, Mark Harmon said, if no one is sick in your family and there's not tragedy going on, you better get your F and A there. And I was like, if you put on a Murray State uniform at some point in your life, you better be there. And I was like, okay, I'm coming, and I don't regret it. It was incredible. What an experience. I made a ton of posts about it. But what what's outside of the games and whatnot, was what else were you guys doing there? Were you required to go see things or meet with media, or was there anything cool to do, or were you just kind of hanging around waiting for games?
A little bit of both. The opening night, before the first game, we went to the zoo. Like all 8 teams went to the zoo together.
Okay.
So that was cool, getting to walk around, see some other guys, chalk it up
Yeah.
with them a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you're kind of at your own discretion on off days. You after our practice and stuff, you can go with families or you can go do what you want, really. So it's pretty cool to have that freedom.
And you were mingling with the other teams, players, and whatnot. You guys were friendly.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we all respect each other. At least I respected all of them. I mean, you can't tell how they feel, of course, but they
Sure.
seem to have the mutual respect as well. I
For
know the
sure.
UCLA guys were really cool, especially while we played. They were telling us numerous times like how much they respected us for making it and how cool the journey is. So shout out to all those UCLA guys. They were awesome, and it blew me away with how respectful they were. To be honest, usually like the big cats, they kind of
Yeah.
brush off the little ones.
Yeah. So what's leading up to this UCLA game, or not leading up, but let's just say we're there. We're at the UCLA game. It's game time. It's time to get it on. A hard fought 4-6 loss. You guys absolutely looked like you belonged, which was amazing. Got out of a really crazy first inning that could have been sideways. You went 3 for 5, man, swinging it. Just let's just talk about this game. What do you remember about it? Anything loud that stands out? Core memories, stuff like that.
Yeah, no doubt. Just to go around the whole game, I thought it reminded me a lot of the first game at Duke.
Mhm.
Um, me and Dusty were on a bunch. I think we were 7 for 10 together. We kind of like added it up at the end, and it was like we had a ton of opportunities to score, like tons. And it's just their left fielder makes a diving catch. Heck of a ball player makes a great play.
Yeah.
Right fielder makes a good play. They turn a wicked double play up the middle. The guy goes in the hole and flips to the shortstop, and they turn two. So like they made some phenomenal plays, and we had opportunities to strike as well, but we just couldn't capitalize. And they made the right pitches when it mattered. They made the right plays when it mattered. But I was just so excited to play them because I've never played a West Coast school before.
Yeah.
And like being from Kentucky, you always see the SEC schools.
Yeah.
Like I played Arkansas, played Ole Miss, played Kentucky. So I was excited to play someone different because I saw Arkansas was on our side too. I didn't want to play them just for the familiarity aspect. I wanted to play someone new,
Yeah.
which obviously I respect them. Nothing against them, but just for the
Yeah.
familiarity aspect. And but yeah, playing at UCLA, knowing how loaded they were, I can like again the shortstop's a stud, so I wanted to see him in person and see where I match up with him as well because I always like to see where I match up with the big dogs.
Did you feel the weight or history of that field and like all the dudes and just that has been there before? I mean, that is so cool. It's almost like, stepping onto Fenway or Yankee Stadium or something like that. Just an amazing baseball history there. Did you feel that at all, or?
Oh yeah, for sure. I know when we first got there, me and Dusty, we looked up and were like, "What's our banner doing up there?" Because you just see him up there with like LSU, Arkansas, UCLA's got the history, Oregon State's got a ton of
Right.
recent history, and then
Yeah.
Arizona too. But it's like we're there with all those guys. It's like this is awesome. So yeah, you definitely felt the history there. Walking around, you see all the history and everything. It was surreal seeing everything. Being in the locker room was so cool. I mean, it was awesome.
I totally, I mean, I obviously wasn't playing, but my, I'm gonna compare your story. This is my story. I went into one of those tents that has all the merchandise, and I'm walking around. I'm seeing the Coastals and the Arkansas and all this stuff. And I stopped at the Murray State gear, and I started crying. I was just like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe that my school did this, that you guys did. I mean, man, I don't even have the words to really describe even how I'm still feeling about it. How we're all, I mean, we were all, I mean, we were all right, I'm just rambling now, but started crying in the middle of a merchandise tent, seeing Murray State gear in front of me. I think I spent $400 on Murray State gear while I was there. I'm going broke because of you guys, but I'm buying up all of it, man. There's this moment is so special. I'm so proud of you guys. All right, I'll get off that. Um, mood after the loss. Obviously, it 100% looked like you guys belonged. It wasn't like these are scrubs that don't belong at the College World Series. Hard fought game. I imagine your spirit's still pretty high after that, after all you guys have been through. Or take me through it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a hard loss to. It was a very hard pill to swallow because I know me personally, I thought we were very capable of winning that game. Our pitching
100%.
staff was unbelievable. Shuddy threw a phenomenal game. You could tell he's a little fatigued, but again, he's such he's such a competitor, and so I mean, it was unbelievable to see. But oh, I think one of my AirPods died. Yeah, you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Go.
Um, Going back to it, yeah, our spirits are still good. I know I was just disappointed in the loss, but like we still had every capability of winning that game against a really good UCLA team that has swept through the postseason. And so I was pumped for the next game, and this I was ready to go, but also I was disappointed in the loss, not just from our abilities, just for the outcome.
Take me through that press conference. This is the one that I keep alluding to, where it's you, Garner, Mercer, and Coach Skirka. You guys said some really profound things. This is when Mercer like couldn't stop smiling, and he was like, "This is baseball heaven. I've never felt famous before." It was just such a pure, beautiful moment. You guys going back and forth. What was that like doing a conference like that? I'm sure you've never had to sit there at a table with all the Murray gear and cameras, and like, what was that like?
Yeah, going back to it, like it felt like I was a big leaguer. Like you
Yeah,
have 30 people in front of you asking you questions, and like they're there for you. They're
yeah,
not there because they have to be. They're there because they want to be. They want to talk to you. And you see all these like reporters and stuff like on TV or like social media. It's like I'm in front of these people and they're ready to ask me questions now.
yeah.
And it's just like this is a dream come true. I mean, yeah, we just lost a baseball game, but
Yeah.
we're so grateful that we even get to play this game, and we're so grateful of the opportunity that we have in front of us.
It's incredible. Well, let me say this is the silly thing to say, but you guys' flow was all looking great in that conference. Man, great hair on all three of you guys. So I don't know if Coach Skirka picked you guys because of your stats or because of your flow, but looking on point, my friend.
Appreciate you.
Um, let's see. Let's just go to the Arkansas game. Crazy game. I mean, I think Gage would have blanked every team there with that kind of stuff and performance. Um, the life. I mean, upper 90s with life. It looks like it was running up. Is that what you guys were feeling?
Yeah, he's a tough matchup. He stood on the first base side and he has a crossfire with some ride, and some of them would cut as well. So
Yeah.
the dude was on point the whole game. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ultra competitor, and you could tell because he got better as the game went on. Um, had a mid 80s breaking ball, was landing at the top of the zone, so it played perfectly with his fastball. It was his day. I mean, no doubt about that. He was dialed in. He was in flow state, and I don't know if anyone in America, no matter what level you are, could have been able to stop him that day.
I totally agree. I think he would have blanked a lot of professional teams that day. He was just
Hmm.
nuts. From what I think I know about hitting and hitting coaches and whatnot, I would love to hear what kind of conversations were you guys having in the dugout to get to him. From what I've heard about trying to attack guys with high 90s that ride up, you almost have to feel like you're getting on top. Is that what were you guys talking about in the dugout to try to get to him? What conversations?
Yeah, we were just trying to find a way to get runners on base. Really, at that point, we've seen guys with ride this year, but he had a little different ride to him because every ball that was up felt like it was in the middle. And it looked like when he would throw a ball low that it was going to skip the ground and it would stay at your knees. So I
Right.
mean, it was electric that day. I don't know,
Yeah.
and it got better as the game went on. Like my
Right.
first at bat, I was pretty comfortable. I was like, yeah, it's firm, but it wasn't nothing crazy. And as the game went on, I was like, this is
Order.
getting better and better. And he hit
Yeah.
98 my last at bat, and it was like
Right.
pitched like 118. And I was like, this dude's a monster right now. Like kudos to him.
Yeah. Had you ever seen velocity like that before?
Yes, yes, not that elite metric type.
Yeah.
Like that was about as plus of a fastball as I think you can get.
Yeah.
And I've seen 100, but it didn't have that much like hop to it.
That's what the announcers were saying, that he had probably the most elite four-seam fastball in college baseball. And I mean, upper 90s with ride and jump and all this kind of stuff is. I mean, it's one thing if someone's throwing fuego and it's straight, but when
Hmm.
it's got shape to it. It's tough to deal with.
No, yeah, and he landed 4 pitches as well. So he was an MLB All Star that day.
Yeah,
Kudos to him. Like, and I thought our pitching staff was
incredible.
beyond exceptional.
Yeah,
Yeah, they gave us a chance.
100%.
But it took a no hitter to knock out the Racers, and you know what? That says a lot.
Yeah, I totally agree. You guys pitchers were incredible that game. They gave you a chance. If you hadn't run up against a guy
Hmm.
having the game of his life with
Hmm.
elite stuff, that's just, what are you going to do, So, um,
Exactly.
take me through, what does it feel like when that game ends? I imagine it has to be a mixture of like sadness that it's over, but still you got to feel immense pride of what you guys accomplished. Can you just, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so just go ahead, man. What's up?
Again, sorrow. Yeah. That's my last collegiate game ever.
Yeah.
Um, I played for a phenomenal human being. Again, brothers for life. Met at my wedding, and then going to see my parents. It was just I saw my dad cry for like the second time in my entire life.
Yeah.
Um, Again, my mom cried, so I had my girlfriend there too. More family as well. So it was I just was overcome with so much gratitude because what kept replaying in my head was this like, don't be sad that it's over, be happy that you did it. And it was just like
Mm.
I got to live a dream that most Hall of Famers don't even get to live in the MLB. Like, there's not much cooler than going to the College World Series besides maybe going to the actual World Series. And even then, you're still playing with paychecks. So I don't know if it can get more sentimental than this.
Yeah.
But just again, sorrow right away. I was
Yeah.
heartbroken because I felt like I let my team down as the leader. Um, and then just so much gratitude after being able to
Yeah.
put the Murray State shirt on, play for such a phenomenal human being, and play with such a phenomenal group of guys as well.
Did you get some dirt?
Absolutely, I did. I gave it to my mom. It's around here somewhere.
Beautiful, man. Did you get to do anything else in Omaha, or was it pretty much just like games in and out?
We scooted around a little bit. We went to some restaurants and stuff around. We went to the first night we went to a game. We went to the Oregon State Louisville game. I think that's it. Yeah. And so we got to hang out around there. But other than that, you're there for baseball. And
Yeah.
when you weren't playing, you were wanting to be around the stadium because you know that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. What kind of things is Coach Skirka saying after this game? Is there like a big talk, or how does this go down?
Mm-mm.
No?
He had no words. He had no words for us. There's nothing right you can say there. The season's over. Besides, it's like, do not let this define our season. That's pretty much all his main thing was like, we're not gonna let this define our season.
Okay. Um,
That's about it.
that's beautiful. We're gonna move into some more kind of Murray State stuff here, but um, I asked you a little bit earlier about scout stuff and pro ball stuff, but um, are you getting projections at all or anything like that? Or
Not yet. I should hear a little bit more about that later on, but I'm trying to think optimistically that I'll hopefully get a chance.
I mean, it would be ridiculous that you did not get a chance, right? I mean, come on, you hit 22 dings, led the nation in these leadoff home runs. You obviously have some big tools and whatnot. It would be an absolute travesty if you didn't. I'm sure. Are you just being coy right now and you just don't want to talk about, like, or is there a real
Um, I
possibility that you don't get picked?
I don't know. I'm not too sure yet.
Yeah.
I don't have anything certain set. So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, nothing that I can say like I'm confident I'm going here, or anything
Yeah.
like that. I don't know. I'm optimistic I will, but I'm not confident that I will. If that makes sense as well.
You and I have talked privately about what your plans are up until the draft, and you've mentioned maybe going to the draft league. I know some of your guys are thinking
Hmm.
about going out there too. I know Garner was talking about going out there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I'm heading out there. I'm leaving Monday for a workout with the team, and then I'll head out there right after the workout.
Okay, cool. And
Yeah.
that is essentially just a place for scouts to continue to watch you up until the draft, or what would you
Hmm.
describe that as? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. All 30 teams scout it, and so great chance to raise stock. And for me, it's also to hopefully polish up to get ready for the draft. And if my name gets called, get ready to go. And hit the ground running and dominate early.
All right, man, this has been incredible. All right, we're back. We took a short bathroom break. We've been rolling for like 2 hours now, and man, this has been a vibe, dude. I have been enjoyed this so thoroughly. I knew this was going to go incredible. You've been electric. I have so appreciated you taking me through your baseball story and what this felt like. This incredible run you took the Murray State Racers on, put them on your back in ways, and I don't mean that as a disrespectful way to your teammates, but an absolute monstrous season. Everyone knows your name. You refuse to stop hitting jacks at the end of the season, man. It was incredible. But this is a fun part for me. This is when I kind of open it up to like some fun baseball questions, and I'm going to ask some fun stuff about your teammates and stuff like that. So let's start with, are you good to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
And have you enjoyed this today?
Dude, it's been a blast. Absolutely.
All right, dude. I knew this was going to be fun. All right. I can't wait for your boys to hear this too, because I know they're going to want to come on too. Here we go. Favorite team growing up? Who'd you root for?
Red Sox. Actually,
Red
yeah.
Sox. Really?
Yeah.
Really? You got anything about that? How does that happen?
It stems from my dad. So his uncle flew the jet for the owner of the Celtics and Red Sox back in the
Really?
day. So he grew up going to Red Sox games, sitting in boxes with like Ted Williams and former big leaguers. And so
Wow.
it truly just stemmed down from him, honestly, just getting to watch them all the time. And so, again, the Cup, I mean, you can tell this Cup's been around for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Seeing Boston stuff everywhere. I've been to Fenway twice, just the history of it. So,
I've been to Fenway once, and that was such a special thing just to get to experience that kind of a historic stadium. I remember the seating feeling really small compared to some newer stadiums. Did you feel like it was like that too?
yes, because it's so old.
Yeah, I was feel like I was boxed in.
Yeah, some of the seats aren't great either because it's so old they haven't renovated to like where the
Yeah.
poles are and this, that, and the other. But no, there's no doubt the history there, and obviously seeing the monster. I got to go on field to watch on field BP one time,
Wow.
so it was really cool. Vlad Jr. can hit balls really far.
Tell me, let's go 3 favorite Red Sox all time.
Okay, Poppy.
Yeah.
Pedroia.
Yeah.
Oh man, the third one. This is where it gets. Oh, man, because I go through like
You
Garcia.
can give me
Parra.
5 if you need more. If you need 5.
Okay, so I got Poppy, Pedroia, and then Pedro Martinez.
Yeah.
I like Veritek.
Mhm.
And then the last one, I guess I gotta go Ted Williams. He's such a beast.
Splendid Splinter. Man, I just read his book not that long ago. It is like 800 pages, but it is one of the best baseball books I've ever read. That guy had, I mean, I think him and Barry Bonds are the greatest hitters of all time. That's debatable,
No doubt.
but
No doubt. It's hard to debate that.
let's go. Favorite player of all time.
Oh man. Okay. I got a few for different reasons. I like Pedroia because of how gritty he was.
Sure.
Super small guy, just played the game in the right way. I liked young Harper, but now my favorite guy right now is Jarren Duran.
Oh man, tell me about that. Why?
Also, I watched the new documentary they had coming out, and so him fighting that mental health stuff.
Yes.
And he's fun to watch. He plays the game so hard. Like he stole home in a doubleheader earlier in the year, and so like the dude just plays with a fire, and he's electric, and he's so open to like his struggles, and then
Yeah.
he's just so relatable. He's easy to like, in my opinion.
I agree with that so much, man. And I'm someone that has struggled, especially in my baseball career with my mental health and whatnot. So him being so open about that, especially as a big leaguer, to be vulnerable, I thought was really special. I love the way he plays too. He's an incredible athlete. Big fan. So hey, man, Jarren Duran, I feel you. 3 favorite swings of all time. Not necessarily player, but you should love their
Correct.
swing.
I think obvious one's Griffey.
Yeah.
Hard to knock his. I love Miguel Cabrera's. So simple.
Mhm.
And the one I've kind of like gone to for my swing a little bit, I know just like the simplicity of it, is Albert Pujols.
That's awesome. Someone commented actually on the video that I posted. They said it looked Pujols-esque, and I agree. The simplicity
Oh,
of it.
heck yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
my dad kind of thought of that like when I was younger. Is like, man, he can hit so well at being so simple. Why do you need to do so much? And that's just kind of where we've kind of formulated it, and like without even thinking about being like Pujols, it's just kind of how it's molded into. I guess ish, like that person said.
Love that. So that was my next question was, are there swings that you've tried to emulate? And you just kind of answer that. Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, always would try to do Harper's, Bryce
Yeah.
Harper, and then Mike Trout, of course, being the top of the top at the time. Josh Donaldson had a unique swing, but I just remember me and my brother playing wiffle ball in the yard. We played the MLB The Show all the time, so we do like the Kevin Youkilis,
Oh yeah.
um,
Up here.
Josh Donaldson. Then he would do like the Batista bat flip. I mean, you name it, we were doing it out in the front yard playing ball together.
Yo, speaking of bat flips, man, if I could critique one part of your game, I feel like you need to get a little saucier with your bat flips, man.
Growing up, my dad was always like, "You respect the game, you play the game the right way." So it's kind of just the old school mind in me.
I know it's like there's this new pull in the game to really like pimp a bunch of stuff and it's supposed to be celebrated and whatnot. But I felt like a few of your dings where you just kind of like laid the bat down kind of softly. I was like, get a little something there, man. You deserve it right now. But it's your flavor, my
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I
Tell
like
me
being
about
simple.
your intro music. Which ones have you used and why? Or walk up, you
It,
know what I'm saying?
okay, yeah. So this year I went "Count 'Em" by Brandon Lake.
Mhm.
Um, Again, it goes back to my faith. I try to stay rooted in that, and I think that's a great way to get a conversation started with some people and help spread the good news as well. It's worked a few times as well.
Have you used other ones in the past?
I can't remember the one last year I used. I don't remember that one at all. The year I was at La Tech, I used Nobody by Casting Crowns. And then at JUCO, my freshman year, I didn't use I can't remember what year it was, but I used Get Like Me by David Banner. So it wasn't really a Christian song, but it was a good one.
I know that. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Let's go glove of choice, size, web. What you got?
Yeah, I've been rocking a Marucci now. I'll probably stick with Marucci as well. I like it a lot. It's a 13-inch H-Web
Okay.
Capital Series.
Uh, any special ways that you like to break in a glove? Anything unique? Anything like that?
I literally just play catch until it's broken into how I like it. I like my outfield glove floppy, so I do like a slight flare on the thumb, but I don't.
You
I'll
like it
just fold
floppy?
it. Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just for an outfield, I feel like I have more room to like maneuver with it and stuff. I don't. If it's stiff, I feel like I'm just worried about it. I don't know why. Just peace of
Oh, I
mind.
get you. Um, anything unique when it comes to like conditioning in it? If it gets dry or things you put on it, potions, anything like that?
Just oil. I'll just oil it up. Shaving cream, mink oil. Yeah.
Yep.
When it starts cracking a little bit, I'll put some oil on it. That's about it.
Classics. Let's go favorite bat model, size, characteristics, model, taper, anything like that. Do you do anything
We're
with the
going
grip?
wood or metal.
Let's go metal to start with.
Okay, I used the Select Power this year, and I've never been a two-piece guy until I switched to it, and I've loved every bit of it. So
Obviously.
I use the stock grip, and then just rock with it how it comes out of the wrapper. To be honest, I hit it on my cleats a bunch, but that's just habit.
Yeah. So wood bat, have you found anything that you like yet?
Yeah, so I've used Old Hickory for a bit now. I think I'm about to switch to Marucci though, and the Acuna model or the Lindor model. The Acuna is with the Old Hickory, and Lindor with the Marucci.
Can you speak to like the characteristics of that? Is that like a fat barrel? Is there a taper? Is there a cup? The handle,
Yeah,
the flare, anything that stands
yeah.
out that you like?
There's a cup. The barrel feels big. A slight flare. I don't really care. That's the only thing I really don't like about is the flare as much. I'm not a huge flare guy, but it's a slightly end loaded, so it's not too bad. And I think it feels a little bit like the Select Power. I really like it a lot because I have such a flat swing naturally that
There you go.
the little bit of end load helps me get the loft.
Ooh, I like that. What about BGs? What you got?
Whatever I can get, to be honest. We use Evo Show at school, so I've kind of grown to really like those a lot. But
Yeah.
I'm not really picky with batting gloves as well. As long as they fit good, it doesn't really matter to me.
What about tar, Moda stick, rosin, anything like lizard skins, anything like that?
Use it all. I use every bit of it, no matter
Yeah.
what. Wood bats I don't use really lizard skin as much. I kind of tar it up, but yeah, that's about it. I just really just tar it up in rosin as well.
Okay. Let's go best baseball movie of all time and worst.
Oh man, I love Sandlot.
I say can't go wrong.
The worst. I don't know if there is a worst one though.
Oh, there is.
Oh man. I mean there's so many corny ones that you can name, but
Summer catch, summer catch.
let's go with that one then. Let's go with that one.
That's been the most named worst one, and I just throw it in people's. And if they don't say anything, I just suggest that because it drives me
Yeah.
crazy. Leaving a cape game in the middle of a no hitter, I can't even.
See,
No,
I don't really like watching baseball movies at all, though, to be honest.
really.
I
What's your
think they're
favorite movie
kind
of
of,
all time then?
oh gosh, of all time. Oh, that's a hard one. Let me go. Ah, man. I don't know. I'm a big action movie guy though. Like if it's action, I'll probably watch it. Love the Extraction movies. Those are really good. Just
Yeah,
anything with Liam Neeson, I'll love.
gotcha. I'm with it. Okay, I've already talked about this multiple times. I'm gonna do it again. I don't care. Have you always been a stash guy? Do you plan on keeping the stash?
I've debated on getting rid of it or not. I'll probably keep it a little bit longer, see where it
Yeah,
goes. I mean, I don't know. It can always grow back, so I'm not too worried about it.
I like it, man. I think you're killing it. T-
Thank you.
are you a weight room guy? If yes, can you talk about how you kind of go about your strength and conditioning stuff? Anything unique or different, or things you avoid, or stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely I am. You have to be at this level. So
Yeah,
I lift roughly 4 days a week and then condition 2 to 3. Condition as in like sprints, but it's a lot of power based with right now. Typically it's power based, but now we're throwing a little bit more strength training in it because I have a little bit of downtime. But yeah, it's just be explosive, move fast, and also try to look good in the process.
how's the strength coach down there at Murray?
He's good. Yeah, Mark. I can never pronounce his last name. Mark Lashley is. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Okay. Do you squat? Do you trap bar deadlift? Anything like that? Olympic movements or anything like
All
staples
of it.
like that?
All
All
of it.
that?
I
Okay.
do just about everything. I maybe stay a little bit away from overhead pressing, but other than that, I'll do everything.
What about grip strength? Do you do anything for that?
Yeah, I do like plate carries, dumbbell forearm workouts. Me and my brother play a game together, and I do like the grip squeeze in between stuff like that.
Do you ever play baseball, video games, a show, or anything like that?
I used to a lot, but honestly, I've gotten to where like when I'm not playing ball, I try to like get my mind off of it because I get consumed by it too much, like almost too much.
That was one of the biggest problems that I had in my career was that I didn't have anything outside of baseball. I would come home from baseball practice and play baseball video games, and then I'd
Hmm.
watch videos on hitting, and then I would want to talk about
Hmm.
baseball, and it was way too close to my face. I needed to see other parts of the world. So good for you for having that perspective, my friend. Yeah.
Thank you.
Are there any hitting coaches that you really like, philosophies, mechanics that you're into? There's tons of guys that I really like. I'd love to hear if there's anyone that you follow on Instagram or,
Hmm.
conceptually think is cool.
There's a guy named Ian Jenkins.
Oh, he's the man. I love Ian
Yes,
Jenkins.
he's a beast. Trey Hanum's a beast.
No Trey.
I'm not a big fan of just the new wave of rear leg launch stuff. That's the
HLP
only
stuff.
thing.
Yeah. Teacher man stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that stuff. It works for some guys, but
Yeah.
to me, there's not enough consistency with it, and there's too much room for error. I'm big in you're stronger on 2 feet, stay on 2 feet, stay balanced through your 2 feet.
Are there any guys on the Murray State roster that are HLP guys? Um,
I
that
don't
do.
think so. None
Okay.
that I could think of off the top of my head. None in our lineup, at least.
Okay. Um, do you have, I guess we already kind of went into a lot of your hitting stuff. And I thought that was cool. So let's just get into some of your teammate stuff. I think these are funny questions. Let's go funniest teammate.
Well, it changes from day to day, but I guess consistently it'd be Jacob Passetti.
Anything particular? He got a thing?
He's always up to date with the funniest new like little memes and stuff. And he'll just burst out randomly. He's always got some remark and this, that, or the other. He's really witty about it too.
Who is the wildest teammate? Who's the wild boy on the team?
Define wild.
I don't think I want to.
Oh man. Okay. Dan talking.
What's that?
Dan talking.
That's incredible because I tell you what, all of us, the alumni that were watching, were loving this guy's vibe. He seemed like he was giving us major Kenny Powers vibes, like the hair's going, he's super sweaty, he's got like they got the facial hair, like yeah, what's this guy's vibe all about? He's gonna come on at some point and be a guest too.
Yeah, he's just I don't know how to explain it. He's just, oh man, how do I explain it? He's just like slow. I don't know, like everything he does is just like he thinks slow, he speaks slow, he like walks slow. Um, but he's very like even kill too at the same time. So
Okay.
really laid back, but he's just like a methodic. Like it looks like everything he does is like methodically, but it's not.
Okay. So not Kenny Powers in real life. He just looks like Kenny Powers on TV.
He probably has a little bit of that in him too.
Okay. Who's the best athlete on that team?
Dustin Mercer,
Really? He can just do some special things?
dude's a freak.
Tell me about it.
Like no, he can him or Harper McClendon, but first one comes to mind is Dustin. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Like the dude just like I've never seen him bad at anything.
Yeah.
Like
He's a
he
great athlete.
jumps freakishly high, 300-pound bench press.
Yeah.
Could probably squat 500 pounds if he wanted to. Runs like a deer.
Yeah.
Can throw a football like a wizard. Gross at pickleball.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Is he
dude
the
just can't.
pickleball alpha?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
He
the
is.
man.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's legit. He's a lefty too, so it's funky.
Who's got the most movement pitching wise, shape wise on your staff?
With the fastball, probably Silva. I think he got like 20 something inches of sink this fall. Yeah,
Man,
so it's. I mean, we're talking moving like that
filthy.
much,
Yeah,
probably.
that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
stupid. Then Graham probably with the curveball or Shuddy with the slider.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Uh
Oakley has or Reese Oakley. I forgot about him. His curveball's gross.
Absolutely. Best position player arm.
I'd probably have to go back to Dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a cannon.
Absolutely. Who's fastest guy on the team?
Either Dusty or Harper. I think Harper got him, but I can't remember.
Okay.
If
Do you have
if
any
he
idea
got him,
like
it's half a step.
do you have any idea what 60s they're running?
They're probably 6'6" or below.
Yeah.
They're
Getting it.
moving, maybe 6'5".
Who's the biggest prankster on the team?
Oh, jeez. Oh, this is so. There's so many of them. Like I'll throw some stuff in there. I mean, good grief, everyone pranks everyone on this team. Like they'll always do something to someone's locker.
Are there any pranks that you can share? And obviously I
I
have a
mean,
deep respect for the locker room. I know some things stay there.
no, yeah, nothing. I'll keep it PG for sure. But like, just like taking someone's shirt or like someone going to go hide something to dance because they'll know he'll get mad. If probably the steady again being the biggest
Okay.
pranks. He likes messing with people like crazy.
There was I'll just drop the dime on my era. There used to be a naked slip and slide club in the in the shower sometimes after practice.
Oh man, we didn't have that one this year, but it's there's definitely some absurd things that go on in locker rooms across the country.
Okay, my man. Who's got the best work ethic? Who's the hardest worker?
Connor Cunningham,
Really? He's the
yeah,
guy?
he works in silence.
Yeah.
It's he doesn't talk, and you never know he's doing it half the time. But like in his room in his dorm, he has a little pop up screen. He'll like feed himself like little short hops and stuff. So
Really?
yeah, kid's a stud. He didn't even have social media or nothing until we forced him to get it this year.
That's sick. Who's the most vocal leader on that team?
Carson Garner.
Really?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Who is the if someone's, dragging, scuffling, who's the teammate that's gonna pick you up? Who's the pick me up teammate?
Honestly, I'd have to go with just about everyone on the team.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Like
Man.
there's no doubt that if I'm having a rough day or something, I'll have multiple guys come up to me. Or if I'm just like not with it that day, multiple guys would come up to me, at least check on me or something.
I love that. Who is the heartbeat of that team? Is there like a center that like everything kind of, you know?
Skirk,
Yeah. Oh, there we
for
go.
sure.
I love that. Uh, who is intense? Who's the most intense? Who's the most easygoing?
I'd say I can get to be really intense, but to keep me out of it, Will Verling is probably the most intense.
He's gonna
And
be a
then
guest too. I'm excited to talk to him.
yeah, and then easygoing Luke Mastoni.
Okay. This laid back dude.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's
Yeah,
got those.
definition. Yeah,
I
he
could see
just
that.
goes
He
with
had
the
some laid
flow.
back vibes when we were watching. I could feel like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Are there any funny traditions, sayings, mottos? Like from my era, we were still the thoroughbreds or the breads, and we called ourselves the dirty breads. We played a lot of Mario Kart. There was a lot of funny things like that going down. Do you guys have anything that are just like your team things?
We still use breads offensively. Um, I'm trying to think of anything that we did. Nothing crazy. We just every year we kind of have like a beginning of the year party. We hang out with each other, kind of get
Mhm.
accustomed, and I mean nothing's. A lot of guys got into Guitar Hero.
Okay.
Yeah. Some guys got to be disgusting at it. It was unbelievable. Dylan Zinko was wicked on it.
Like like everything.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, nothing too crazy. We would like in and out with some games on our phones together. Like we played Rise of Kingdoms for like 2 weeks together, kind of grinded that, and then just stuff like that. But I mean, they'll all play video games and stuff together, but nothing, no like crazy traditions, I guess you could say.
Uh, who's the best storyteller on the team?
A steady.
Yeah.
The dude could, the dude could tell you your grandmother died and make you laugh. Like it's weird.
Just one of those guys. You just got it.
It's unbelievable.
All right. Do you have any nicknames? I've heard someone say Hogie.
Yeah.
Obviously, now you're the Murray Masher. It's official. What else you got?
That's about it, really. I mean, my real name's Jonathan, so I guess you can count John, but that kind
Do
of
you
got
accept
thrown.
the Murray Masher as a new nickname?
Bring it on. That's fine with me.
I'm gonna get a shirt made, dude. All right. Who's got the best nickname on the team? Who's got the worst nickname on the team?
The best. I think. I think Dom. Because just we call him just like D, and he hated it, and that's why I think that was the best. The worst would probably be we call him Wash to Chad.
What you got? Story?
It's just they randomly they start calling him Chad because they said he acted like a Chad. And so
Oh,
they,
okay, I get it. So
but
just one of
but it
those.
has,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but yeah, there's
Gotcha.
like no correlation to him. His name's Jack.
Okay. Whose swing on the team do you like the most?
Swing.
Yeah,
Ooh, probably Carson's. When it's groove and it's butter.
I agree. He's got a beautiful swing. I was actually texting with him about that the other day. How much I like to swing. Who's got the best flow? The best lettuce?
Ooh, I'd say me on that one.
Man, I'm not gonna fight you on that one, man. I like it. All right. Who's the best dancer on the team?
Oh, geez, I don't know if we have a guy that can dance. If I had to guess, it'd be Silva just for his personality. But
I can see
I
that
haven't
dude
seen.
cutting
I
it.
don't think I've seen any of these guys dance before.
Nobody?
I don't think so.
Well,
Which
we had some dance
I
parties
stay
back in the day,
reserved.
man. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. Let's go with what are some of the funniest things that you guys heard about Murray during the whole College World Series tour and things like that, where they were just trying to, say things about us.
Just everything about like this is where these guys come from. Really, they're like
Yeah.
everyone's like trying to downplay it to the absolute lowest, and it's like our playing surface isn't that bad.
Right. No, the playing surface was immaculate. I always thought.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But our wall looked pretty bad, so I guess that wouldn't help. And then of course, 300 people can fit in the stadium, but I guess the circle mowing the grass.
I wonder where that one came from. What are some of your favorite things about Murray that are unique, that people wouldn't know?
Just the hometown feel.
Yeah.
The community, like the community recognizes you. The community loves you. I personally love a small town. I don't
Yeah.
think I'll ever see myself living in a big city. So for me, that was beautiful. I mean, looking out sounds weird, but looking out, seeing cornfields, I love that. Not many people do. Like I know Dusty probably did not like that being from Charlotte, and now he lives in St. Louis. So being from those areas, you probably don't like it. But I'm from middle of nowhere. Like you go anywhere where I live in Hopkinsville now, and you go anywhere around here, like I don't have cell service. So I love that personally.
Yeah.
But I guess just the hometown feel of it.
Take me through a day in the life at Murray State.
For me personally,
Yeah.
okay. So in the spring, I didn't have class except one day a week, and we had midweeks that day. So I didn't ever go to class. So I'd wake up whatever time I really wanted to. Depends on if I had homework or not. Let's just say 8. 8 would be a typically normal time. Then I'd go make some breakfast. Typically 4 eggs, some potatoes, turkey bacon, yogurt, and then black coffee every morning. And then go from there, do homework, and then practice usually like 1:30. I'll get there at noonish, 11:30 or noon, go get some early swings in, and then go out to practice, do all that fun stuff, and then lift after. And a lot of times before the season started, we'd go to Winslow as a team.
Winslow.
A lot of us would go.
Yeah.
Just free. It helps the budget. So,
man, fond memories of Winslow. What's your favorite thing on the menu at Winslow?
I love chicken as a whole. So probably just when they have this chicken sandwiches or something.
For sure. What are you most proud of looking back on your career to this point?
Going to Omaha.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Pretty easy answer, right?
Yeah. No, for sure.
Okay. Where do you see your career going after this?
Hopefully professional, and I'd like to take it as far as I physically can. I see myself making it to the big leagues, of course.
Me too.
I mean, I don't know why. If you want to play pro ball, you have to see yourself make it to the big leagues. So that's the ultimate goal, and I think you have to see it to achieve it. So
I love that. Well, we're at the end here, my friend. How's this been for you?
absolute blast. I love it.
Was it?
Absolutely love it. Yeah. No, it flew by.
I know, right? I feel like we just started. So tell me, what did you think when I first reached out to you?
I had no expectations, to be honest. I've done one podcast before, and it was like 3 years ago. Yeah, it was 3 years ago. So, and I was in the middle of nowhere, Vermont when I did it. So,
yeah, good experience for you. Was this fun getting to talk about all your stuff and whatnot?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, I had no expectations coming into it. I just was going to go with the flow and do whatever. And honestly, I was worried about me getting tired because the day was so long with my brother.
Yeah.
They drug that thing out like crazy, and it got up to like 105 degrees.
Yeah.
Real feel. So, but no, I'm feeling great actually, and truly loved every bit of this.
It's funny how like an electric or a fun conversation can really like lift you up a little bit, right? Like
Dude,
I'm usually,
unbelievable.
dude, I usually get up at 4 a.m, so I'm usually in bed by now, and I feel absolutely alive right now after doing this. Man, this was so incredible. I remember just watching you on TV and being like, man, I want to know, how did this guy get to where he is right now? Like, how did this guy who can't stop mashing dingers, where did he come from? How did he get to this point? What is going through his head? What are all the steps that got him here? What makes him tick? How does he see Murray? How does he see this experience? And we got such a great picture of it, and you were incredible, man. I didn't know what to expect with you either. I had, seen your press conferences, and I'd listened to that podcast you did years ago, whatnot, and you were incredible, man. I thank you so much for your time. I really wanted to get your thoughts about this beautiful moment in time, about how you felt about it quickly, because, memories dissipate over time. So you're fresh out of the fire. What an incredible experience. And let me say, from the bottom of my heart, and I think I can represent every Murray baseball player, everyone that has ever been to Murray State, thank you so much for what you've done for the program, for Murray State. You have lifted this. I mean, this will be felt in Murray State baseball at Murray State University for years and years and years to come. You guys will always be the team that went to the College World Series. This is going to lift up the program, more money into it, better recruits. I am so proud to be a Murray State racer, and you're a part of that. Thank you so much, man. I can't wait to have the rest of you guys on too, but is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here? But just thank you so much, man. This has been incredible.
Man, just appreciate you. Appreciate all the guys before us, and just for laying the foundation. Just truly a blessing to be a racer, and truly thankful for the opportunities that we had this year. No doubt.
I love it, man. That was incredible. All right, this has been the Murray Masher, John Hogart. This was incredible. I loved this. I can't wait to put it out. I'm going to edit it right after we get done here. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for everyone out there listening. We're going to keep going, man. The post-game spread, a journey worth remembering. We appreciate you. All right, my man. We're out.
Thank you, brother.